Good morning from the Queen City. We are in Regina, the provincial capital of Saskatchewan, as the Tim Hortons Brier continues on TSN. It's the site of one of his most famous victories.
Canada is the world champion.
Part of Jeff Stoughton's World Championship team in 2011, Reid Carruthers has fond memories of Regina. This week, back at the Brand Center, Carruthers is once again putting on a show, this time as skip of Manitoba. A perfect 4-0 and on top of Pool B. Today, they face John Epping and Team Ontario. Draw 9, the Tim Hortons Brier continues. The Brand Center will be a busy building the next few months. The Memorial Cup coming in May, and this week it is the Tim Hortons Brier on TSN. Coming inside the building, glad you're watching our coverage. Brian Mudryk joined by Kathy Gauthier, and the championship round of 8 begins on Thursday. So Kathy, in your mind, what makes Tuesday today so critical?
Well, all the big teams start going against each other. Those are the top-seeded teams. And so your win is not just head-to-head. It's what you carry through, and now you're starting to think Final Four.
Last night we had a beauty. It was a rematch of the semifinal on the men's side at the Olympic Curling Trials. Mike McEwen, Team Wildcard, taking on the Canadian champion, Brad Gushue. And I think Brad owed Mike one here, and he played like it.
Oh, he played lights out last night, and even in a situation like this, you saw a lot of red granite, but it is that yellow stone belonging to Brad Gushue. A chance for 2, precise draw, no problem.
Beautiful weight in the third end, and that continued in the 8th end. Look at the situation. Not a big port to come through, but he was money with this outturn draw.
He really was. You could see Brad very much dialed in. We wondered because he had not been tested very much so far this week. Has to hit the pin. That is the only way to score here in 8.
Bang, right there. Lovely little tap on the pin. He was money. He made history as well yesterday, becoming the most winningest skip ever at the Brier, and he keeps on winning. Handshakes as Team Canada still perfect. Other scores to pass along: Alberta, a 9-2 win over Newfoundland Labrador. We just showed you the highlights. 6-5 Team Canada wins. Northwest Territories, Jamie Cooey 7-3 over Nova Scotia, and Yukon 8-2 over BC. If you're joining us for the first time, new format, so we have Pool A, Pool B, top 4 from each pool. Make that championship round of 8, and you carry your record forward, so you want to keep on winning. For Reid Carruthers in Manitoba, his second Brier appearance. He was here in 2015, a 4-7 record with this roster. They've come a long way. They've won a Canada Cup. They keep improving. What do you want to see out of Reid going forward? I know he's undefeated, but you can always improve.
Well, you can. First of all, he's going to really like the fact that against John Epping head-to-head, he is 4-0 this year. But yesterday, after their game in the afternoon, Reid said that each member of the team overthrew the in-between shots. That speaks to nerves. Need to settle that adrenaline. I know it's exciting, but find that inner peace.
We saw John Epping at the trials in Ottawa, and at the time we talked about the Brier, and he looked at me and goes, "What's the Brier?" Well, the joke's over. He was arguably the best player to never play in the Brier, and now he is here. He's playing fantastic. What does John have to do or keep doing to make that championship round?
Well, he needs to do what he says, and that was that the trials was such a grind, so much pressure, and they're just so excited to finally be here. He says they need to keep it loose. They've been playing very loose. Don't tighten the screws just because you're playing a front-running team. Yesterday,
he told me that the trials, he's representing Team Epping, his family and friends, but here he's representing Ontario, and that weight can be heavy. First Rock is next, coming up on TSN.
First goal is get into that championship pool, and then once you get to the championship pool, then you try and make the Final Four, and then once you're in the Final Four, then you can make that final goal to win it. But overall goal is to win, but we got to take it step by step.
It's a matter of just keeping it one game at a time, enjoying the experience, living for the crowd, living for the moment, making that shot, enjoying yourselves, and seeing where you lie at the end of the week.
The 2018 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by Tim Hortons, official coffee of Curling Canada. The 2018 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by Home Hardware. Here's how. By Sponge Towels Paper Towel, nothing absorbs like it. And by Ford of Canada, proud partner with Curling Canada for over 20 years.
Glad you're with us on this Tuesday morning. We'll keep you up to date all morning long on the games. On the ice, Sheet A, PEI taking on New Brunswick. On Sheet B, Quebec and Nunavut. We've set up the feature for you already. That's on Sheet C. And on Sheet D, it is Saskatchewan at 2-2. Steve Laycock versus Jacobs, Northern Ontario, the Brier champ from Edmonton 2013. They are still perfect. Manitoba, Ontario. Time to meet the teams. Brought to you by Home Hardware. Here's how.
Hi, I'm Reed Carruthers, skip of Team Manitoba. Our lead is Colin Hodgson, our second is Derek Samagalski, our third is Braden Muskowee, and we curl out of the West St. Paul Curling Club in West St. Paul, Manitoba.
Hi, I'm John Epping, skip of Team Ontario. Our lead is Tim March, our second is Patrick Jansen, and third is Matt Cam, and we curl out of the Leaside Curling Club in Toronto.
Your rock colors this morning, Team Ontario throwing the Yellowstones, Team Manitoba the Redstones, and it was John Epping's team winning that draw to the button. So it is Team Ontario with hammer on this Tuesday morning. And to start us off, it will be the Team Manitoba lead, Colin Hodgson. And I had an interesting chat with Colin yesterday after their game. We covered their feature game, and they had some bad rocks. And Derek Samagalski had made the comment, Kathy, that they weren't really happy with the stones. This was on a different sheet entirely. And actually, Colin tells you when they get bad rocks, they go to him, which is interesting for a lead to take those stones. But he says he usually gets the bad rocks in those situations. His numbers, you know, still pretty good. He had fantastic numbers in his first Brier debut back in 2015, but that's interesting to me that the lead gets them.
It is for two things. First of all, when we talk about bad rocks, they're not bad, but they're not matched, perhaps, so that if you threw them both in the same spot, they would wind up in different places. One would wind up shorter or longer, and so it is that extra thinking. For it to go to a lead whose percentages are probably let's say 80% or more draws, that means that for Colin, he's always got to be thinking 6 feet more, 6 feet less. That's unusual to give it to a lead when you play so many draws.
Tim March leads stones for Team Ontario. He said the stones in particular, they were cutters, which means they curl a lot more, and they were slow.
Okay, the cutting part is awesome because in that way you can get more finish on your stone as a lead and bury it. But slow, that's not good when you're playing lots of draws.
Roll it.
He says that he's usually the guy, and their coach is Dan Carey, but he says he's usually the guy that has the rock book and does that work. But he says that Reed Carruthers has taken that responsibility this week, as Reed really wants to be comfortable with his stones and the selection. So some insider info there on their team. And what does that say to you, Kathy?
It means to me that, you know, it could be that Reed's a control freak. I don't think that's it. But I do think that it's unfortunate that one of the players on the ice has to do it. And it's not a lack of confidence in Dan Carey, but there are I'm just thinking about Jules Ochar. For Brad Gushue and his team, rocks are not a concern. They don't worry about them. You see Tom Sallow sitting in the crowd often, watching what teams are throwing. When the Gushue team hits the ice, they have their stones paired up. They know what they're throwing. They have backup plans. That is one thing you just want to take off your plate.
See, I am a control freak, so I would actually want that job too.
Yes,
I'd want to know, because if you're throwing those rocks and you're the skipper and you got a big draw and you need to make that draw to the pin, you want to know that you have the stone that you scouted out. But well, whatever works for you.
And you know what? I mean, my daughter Gaetan's joining us in the booth this morning, and she's rolling her eyes because I have the rock book on our team. I've always had the rock book because I too am a bit of a control freak and just wanted to know all the time with some confidence about what they would do.
Throw bumper? I think so. Throw just bump. He wants half, so yeah. We're going to lose a bit here. First rock down here.
Well, here's a great example of what I talked about in the opening about all of them throwing a little bit more than asked. So ask for hack, you throw bump. The break point on the ice is different, and they did not always get the results against Quebec yesterday afternoon that they wanted.
Weight's perfect.
because of throwing that little bit extra.
You're gonna have to go hard, 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 hard. Nice ball, nice.
Wow. Hard, Colin. Good weight.
Away it goes behind the guard for Team Manitoba.
Yeah. Holy. I would have been like top 8, eh?
I think so too.
So we're just like 2 feet short of up here. Is that what you saw?
Yeah, I think it's real close.
Yeah, real close to up 90.
Yeah. Whoa.
T.
Whoa. Where? Whoa.
T.
Whoa. Line's good.
Trying to get down to the face of that
Whoa.
stone.
Real close. T.
Yeah.
Come on, Buck.
Hard. Hard.
T line.
Whoa. Whoa.
T.
Whoa. Whoa. Great shot, Pat.
Shot, Patty.
Oh, very nice shot. And we talk about what John Epping needs to do in the beginning, and he talked about how much better his team plays when they're loose. And that's the key for today. Keep it light. I know this is the Brier, but you play better when you're relaxed and stay the course. We've often said that John sometimes calls himself into too many rocks, too aggressive. It's worked for him, and I would put an asterisk on that, that when you get into trouble, then just bail.
Pretty good. Clean. Line's good.
Weight's
Just go
good.
weight.
Clean.
Whoa, Wilden.
Whoa.
Weight's good.
Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa,
I'm
guys,
moving
get
it.
room.
Whoa. To it. Clean.
Whoa.
It's to it. Yep, line. It's to it.
Whoa. Whoa.
To it. Small bounce.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh, some great shots back-to-back in this
Nice,
opening
Derek.
end.
Good shot.
For Reed Carruthers yesterday, one of the things he was the most proud of is their ability to stay even when things didn't go well. So ride the storm today. There's going to be good moments and bad. Keep that even keel. And the nerves is more about the weight and throwing what is asked and not any more.
Keys to the Game brought to you by World Financial Group, helping Canadians have better financial futures.
4 feet more.
Yeah. 4 feet, 5 feet more. Just through.
Pat Jansen throws second stones for Team Ontario out of the
Back 12.
East Side Curling Club in Toronto.
Coming down. Back 12.
Yeah.
Back 8.
Whoa.
Back off. We're back off.
Yeah.
12.
Hard.
Back 90.
Hard. Hard. Keep going.
Oh, just paper. That corner guard, little tap, and that'll rearrange things behind the tee line.
It didn't run the same as his draw there.
Well, and they got closer to the center line when they let go. That's where there's so little play in the draw to the button. So when it came off, it was like coming off a bit of a swoop.
15.
And that's why he got that extra curl. I'm sure he probably threw it really well.
Yeah, 15.
Max ice there.
15, yeah. It's close for ice, yeah, just max.
And this young man has been embracing every second of the Brier so far. Braden Muscogee from Regina, grew up here, always dreamed of playing in a Brier in his hometown, and here he is now doing it for Manitoba in different colors. He represented Saskatchewan at a Brier before, but in his home city here with Manitoba, hoping to recruit some fans as the week goes on. He's brought a lot of his own family and friends, telling us in his first draw out there about 50 tickets needed, so he might need a second mortgage to buy those tickets this week, but he's loving it.
Great throw.
Well, he grew up in a curling home. His dad, Kelly, represented Saskatchewan at the Brier. Was one of the gentlemen on the ice at the opening ceremonies where they brought back all the former champions, which was pretty wonderful to see.
Including curling royalty and Ernie Richardson. They won 4 Briers over a span of 5 years for Saskatchewan. That really is special to see all those old familiar names.
Same ice, because I'm going to stab it a hair more than that, right? Split center beat.
And it was Sandra Schmerler's daughter throwing out the opening rock as well, with her former teammate Sarah throwing the opening stone, who's become a good little junior curler as well.
Absolutely, she has skipped at the Canadian Juniors this year.
Take a little ahead. No, it's pretty close.
Very special moment.
Three.
Goal line.
3. Line's good.
Line's pretty
3.
good.
Clean it if
Still
you
wait.
can.
Still
If
wait.
you're not in the rings, clean it.
I like to go
3.
big. Whoa.
Whoa,
Just at
wait
the
till the
end.
end. It's
Just
enough
at
to
the
curl.
end. Wait.
Yep,
Now go.
Both of you go. Go, boys.
Hard,
Go,
hard,
boys.
guys.
Come on, Derek. Hard. Come on, Derek.
Hard, read up.
Come on, Derek.
Read up, Derek.
Hard.
Nice.
Pretty good.
Covers
A
half.
lot less time to get there.
I know. Good throw, bud. Pretty good.
Like what? Back 12?
Yeah. Be a little fresh in here.
Yeah. It's a run similar to mine. They're good hack and probably got here out of it.
So I need probably just through, good through.
What was the call?
I'm trying to get back 12.
Yeah, I think if you throw here, Matty. Yeah, throw in almost hack.
And Matty is Matt Cam, who has Brier experience on this team. He was at the Brier in Calgary in 2015 as a third for Mark Keane. They had a 5-6 record that year.
Yeah.
Weight's pretty good. Solid.
Whoa.
Weight's good.
Yeah.
A little quiet.
Whoa.
Weight's
Hard.
good. Hard. Here we go. Hard.
Whoa.
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 Weight's good. Solid. We're solid.
Hot.
We're solid.
Good.
Nice shot.
Good throw for Matty. Wasn't going to underthrow that first rock in that path.
Knows he does this and lies 2 probably. I can't get rid of either.
As promised, we'll keep you up to date. A few blanks early on.
Yeah.
Jimmy
I
the
just
Kid
didn't wanna
Grattan
be that
blanking
lightweight.
against PEI, so he has hammer in the second end.
That's good.
Ran pretty
And
good,
same
eh?
goes for Northern Ontario.
Yeah.
Brad Jacobs, a blank, taking on Team Saskatchewan, the
Can't make
hometown
this 'cause he just hit
favorites
some
here.
balls. Got a draw, yeah.
Steve Laycock, the skip, and Matt Dunstone,
Only other shot would be the run.
two-time
the run
Canadian junior champ, throwing the 4
I
stones for
think
that
it's
team.
a draw, Reed.
Yeah. Guess if I'm here,
That's the best
if I'm
spot.
just shot.
Just shot's the best, yeah.
Guess if it lines it up so it jams, it's not.
Because
the end
he's
of the
going to have to tap, and then
Yeah.
we can tap back.
I think this is the shot.
I
guys.
agree. We know the spot good.
Yeah, as long as we're outbeating this one for sure.
Yeah. Just even or just past it.
Okay. Right
It's ice
there.
I had?
That's the same ice.
Perfect. Feels like 15 to me. I don't know what it's
Yeah.
timing.
I think it touched more.
Right here, Rob. Okay.
Well, an interesting
Yeah, not quite.
shot for Reed Carruthers, his first one in this first end. Reed was the one that threw the draw to the button for hammer, did not make the house.
Yeah, so it looks
Better
like.
make something.
That's why last rock advantage goes to Ontario.
Yeah.
So that's going to be in his head, thinking about what he threw for that one.
As Reed settles in, update time, Quebec and Nunavut. And I believe, Kathy, they looked it over. It looks like Team Quebec is line 2, so this should be a draw for 3 for Mike Fournier, making his first ever Brier appearance out of the Glenmore Curling Club, just outside of Montreal.
I think it's bad. I don't think it's bad.
Line's a little tighter. Perfect weight. No, put back. Just your weight. Line's fine. Just your weight.
Perfect weight.
Put backing.
Top 4 weight. T-line weight.
Bon, on a L de backing maintenant. Ciao, Mike.
And the draw weight looks nice, and it stops in time. So Mike Fournier.
We'll measure for 3.
2 for sure.
This one's good.
And you heard the
Here?
third
Sounds
Felix
good.
Asselin saying, do we got a measure? And I guess not. So
Yeah, you can remove the yellow.
So they will
So many
measure.
of them,
So
it's
we'll keep you posted on that. So it's 2 for sure, possibly 3. We'll get you up to date. When they know, we'll let you know as well. Back at home.
And early struggles with draw weight for Reed Carruthers. Was trying to get to the 4-foot, did not make the house.
Yes, weight and line.
Well,
I like the out.
No, yeah, for sure.
no matter what.
If you get low on that, I'll be impressed.
Back 8.
Need a pick.
This is the rock you used on the draw, Johnny.
Okay.
This is kind of like where Patty's draw was, first draw was, right?
Stay here more.
Should be around draw to the button, Johnny.
Okay.
Back 12.
Back 12. Yep.
Yeah, Carruthers.
Whoa.
Solid.
Yeah. Just back 12.
Hard! Hard, Tim!
Go, buddy.
All the way, Timmy.
Hard, Timmy!
All the way.
Almost through, Matty.
Stay with the pad.
Easy on the roll. I don't know where this is going. All right, just leave it. That's good. Hey, John.
It's good weight, eh?
Yeah.
That's pretty good weight. He opened up that side for himself. If Reed Carruthers doesn't
Half rock.
have a good outcome.
half and like should play the out, but like it's going to be a
in.
guess either, eh?
Because you don't need to kill this read, right? Like,
yeah.
If you run into
After
it
measure
here, you're good enough, I think.
Okay, so.
Kind of like Wheel of Fortune there. That's fun. Okay, 3. So they measured. It was 3 on the board for Mike Fournier.
Just a little, I
and
think.
a lead
like
over none of it.
Yeah. Big half's fine. Yeah.
Deal.
Going in at it?
In.
Okay.
So Reed Carruthers, Kathy, lining up the double.
He is.
And he's got to hit the low side one first, correct?
Yep.
To avoid the jam on the red stone there in the forefoot. In theory, it'd be easier if he could hit the other stone left of Braden's broom, but...
Peel hammer.
You're talking about him hitting which one, Brian?
So they're hitting the one
stone?
right by the broom, correct? First?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just saying that the other stone on the left, in theory, it'd be easier to make it
to make
that
the
way,
double. Understood, but that guard is your problem?
Yep. Whoa! Whoa! Holy shit. Perfect. Good.
Great shot, Reed.
Just didn't want to be thin.
Yeah. Great shot.
And that's not all bad because you can see a nose hit
Great throw, man.
doesn't give you
Right where you threw it, where we hit it.
I was
shot.
going to move.
I did too. Like I was, in my head I was thinking anything but like thin, right? Because even if we hit 3/4 like we did. So that's why I called yeah.
Be a little sticky here.
So the hit and the roll in.
Might run a hair fresh.
Yeah, a little sticky here.
Now this should run pretty straight. They have thrown quite a few stones in this path.
Whoa! Firm! Yep! Whoa! Yep! Whoa!
John Epping, final stone in 1.
Clean! Clean! Clean!
Through the port, no problem.
Boy, John,
Bang, away it goes. He rolls it
Go.
towards the button, and that is good for a single. We're underway in Regina on this Tuesday morning. Ontario leads 1-0.
A new format at the Brier and a new format for the annual Ford Hot Shots. 15 teams started the week with a chance to win $15,000, and one lucky fan would receive a 2-year lease on a brand new 2018 Ford Escape SE. The field narrowed down to just 4 teams. In the final round, Team Northern Ontario pulls away, including a 5 in the Around the Horn triple takeout, finishing with a total of 69 points, and they win the $15,000. And Ford, giving back to individuals who go further in their community. Here in Regina, that individual, Mary Ann LaRock Omar. Oh my, she wins herself a 2-year lease on a brand new 2018 Ford Escape SE.
Welcome back to the Brandt Center, home of the Regina Pats of the WHL. They're on an 8-game road trip, so we can bring you the Tim Hortons Brier. Ontario, John Epping, a nice hit in that opening end for a 1-0 advantage. So here in the second, it is Team Manitoba throwing the red stones with hammer, and there you see the situation. The first one from Tim March in the house, his second on the way as Colin Hodgson put one right on that Tim Hortons cup for a corner guard.
See you guys. Outturn. Top 4, Colin.
Close to 15. I'm freezing top 8.
I think it's high 14s.
Okay.
Yesterday morning, the ice was really good, as good certainly as we have seen it.
A little light.
Very predictable. No flat spots, no soft spots.
Weight's good.
Slid really well. Sweepers really made a difference.
Where's the weight? Top 4. Whoa.
Half out.
Weight's good. Weight's good.
Mine's getting better. Stay close, Moss.
Yeah, you're right.
Whoa. It's heavy.
Mine's good.
Nope, never.
They're all in 6.
Great shot, oh boy. Good judge, D.
Great shot, bud.
14-6.
Yeah. Great throw, Colin.
Yeah.
Shot, Colin.
Kind of holds and finishes pretty good here, Patty. Okay. Top 8, right up here. Yeah, we're a small bump right now. Weight's close though.
You have room, guys.
T.
Yep.
Top. Yeah, T.
Yep.
T, back 4.
Yep. Hard.
Trying to freeze down to the face.
Tim. Go, Tim. Go, go, go. Go, Tim. Yep, yep.
This is the audible to go by now. You know, if you are a believer that the best predictor of the future is to look at the past, well, for Reid Carruthers, it's a pretty solid pass. In the last 8 matchups of these teams for this year, for last year in some very big events, 100% of those games won by Reid Carruthers.
Yeah, John said yesterday, chatting with him after their win, man, they really had our number, and there's your evidence, obviously. But talking to Colin Hodgson, he said a couple years back they were owned by John Epping for a stretch. So it's funny how some teams, they have your number for whatever reason. And John knew he had to come out with his best game this morning for a chance to knock off Reid Carruthers.
Okay, heavy hack.
No good if we don't get the shooter out of there. So. Well, if it goes right by the yellow, it's real good.
You won a lot during your Scotties career, Kathy, but was there a team like that for you that just you seem to bang your head against the wall?
You know, I don't think that there was a particular team as much as there were years that teams seemed to have your number, and the next year you would have theirs. And it's a, you can say all the right things out loud, but in your mind, you know that this is a team that you always struggle with, that have found ways to win, and it's tough.
It'll be a hard question to answer because it's so broad, but what was it? What could it be? Just a little thing mentally? What were those differences?
Sometimes it is. Sometimes, you know, you kind of feel that there's a certain team that just seems to peak against you, that always makes everything. You know, at this level, there's so little difference between the really top teams. It's getting the right break. It's making a really big shot at the right time. I believe, as a player and as a coach, that there's always one end in a game where you have an opportunity to really put pressure on the other team, whether that's through a guard to maybe steal or a hit for 3 or 4. And that's usually the only chance that you get. And if you don't make those, that dictates the outcome of the game.
Nice little hit and roll from Pat Jansen for Team Ontario to the Tim Hortons button.
Hard at the nose.
It's a hair high.
Just firm.
Get some contact.
Needs to run it back, but that is a very long guard.
Yep.
High center, high center.
Yep.
You're close, come on.
Hard.
Really close, come on, boss, come on.
Hard.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Okay, try.
And we're dead.
Well, you're not really. You've actually moved a stone out of the way that actually wasn't helping you a whole lot.
And I guess if there's a sliver of a silver lining here, those yellow stones are pretty much behind the tee line. They're not all in front of the 4, so time to work them around.
Well, Matt Cam's going to try to protect one side. Reid will have the other. And if they choose to play the run back again, at least it's your own that you're running in and not your opponent's.
Just half. Okay, you're okay. Pat! Hard, Pat! Hard, Pat. Hard! Gotta go.
Right next door update time. Saskatchewan 2-2 record. Northern Ontario perfect 4-0 coming in. One to come though from the 4th rock thrower. That is Matt Dunstone. And we watched that game against PEI, and Eddie McKenzie took Saskatchewan to the brink, and Matt had to make a great shot at an extra end to ensure Saskatchewan stayed at 2 losses. If he makes this, Kathy, is this not for 4?
I'm looking at the lineup. It's tough because you got a catcher there with the yellow behind the red and the 8-foot.
Well, this young man loves to hit. Final stone. Steve Laycock in the house. Bang, bang, squirted enough.
It moved enough.
4 on the board for Team Saskatchewan. And the Brown Center starting to heat up as well for this young man, Matt Dunstone. They're from Saskatoon, but adopted here in Regina, obviously, wearing those colors. 4-0 Saskatchewan, and a lineup note there as well. Unfortunately, Ryan Harnden is under the weather with the flu, so Tanner Horgan in once again.
A good shot by Manitoba to get out of some trouble.
Weight's good.
It's gonna curl.
Top 8.
Yeah, it's gonna curl. Whoa. Whoa, we're over curl. Over curl. Over curl.
Just top 12.
Top 8. Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Top 12.
Whoa.
Good judge, Pat.
Okay.
Okay, bud.
Let's check in now over on Sheet B. It is Quebec and Nunavut. And Mike Fournier, a 3-0 advantage. Quebec, the Redstones, and this looks like a tough draw right to the pin for David St. Louis, who is the skip. He's the import, lives in Stratford, Ontario, and the import player on this team.
And it's tougher than you think because even what you couldn't see in the picture we showed you is there was a long guard out front. There it is. So has to go way out in the wings and then wait for the finish to get to the lid. He's got great movement on this.
Hard.
Now trying to just limit the damage. And a steal of 2. So a nice start for Quebec and a tough start for Nunavut. And David St. Louis, 5-0 after 2.
That rock from Matt just over curled that little bit. So this is the attempted tap.
That's fine.
They did not quite get the finish they wanted either.
Really bad.
What'd you get there, Tate? 1435.
You want to
splits are a little fast.
throws into the right red. What am I throwing here?
1. Try the button here, bud.
Okay. A little more.
New Brunswick, James Gratton, a single on the board and a 1-0 lead in the third end over PEI.
Yep. Like tight guard right now.
Go. Hard everything.
Halfway.
Whoa, whoa.
Whoa.
Let it stop then. Let it stop. Okay, bro.
Good.
Freeze. Then one's nothing. Then we'll have a shot for a bunch.
Way?
Ontario shot stone here, Kathy?
Colin
Yeah,
or
I think so. No, well,
I don't see much bad.
maybe Manitoba.
If we go
Well.
here, do we have them both ways?
50-50.
I don't have much over here.
No, I think it is Ontario.
For sure.
we
Do we
touched
have
ours.
that?
I couldn't tell from here. I know we think we're
That's
said
our
it.
score.
For maybe 2.
I was just going by the
For 2.
Okay. I'm assuming you guys.
I think it might be worth taking a crack at this right now.
I think so too.
I don't see much bad that could happen.
Looking
Like, really
at running
bad.
it straight back, the red
Because that middle one's
long
always-
guard.
Yeah.
Spin.
Yeah,
This
I'm guessing
it's still not the end of the world.
I don't
This
think
will get going. This still might be in front of it.
If you let's say you nose and double peel, can you throw a bomb and sit 3? Then we have a triple back, but it's
If we
against
straight
5.
peel the red, if I play him
Hot in
straight
this
peel
arena,
it, he's still not playing
Like
this.
say you nosed it,
especially when you get a couple.
you can't do anything with it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
You
I
gotta
think
guard
we
it.
play it.
Okay.
Yeah, you have a long
So
game.
just turn it an inch high.
Out turn, yeah.
Out turn inch high. Yeah, that's real close. Not even an inch high.
Yeah, just fraction
Just a hair high. Should be dead straight here, eh? Think so?
Just a bit. Not much.
With the weight that I'm assuming Reed is going to throw,
Posture, Brad. Peel.
it's going to run exactly where he lets go, so release is very important.
Reed Carruthers, his first here in the second.
Oh! Whoa!
Playing the run back.
Shooter, big, shooter. Yep. Need it. Go.
And he'll miss the angle driving by, catch the stone in the house, and opens it up a little bit.
Good. You got this now.
Yeah.
We're good shot, Reed.
Not bad.
Not bad, buddy. Just gotta protect it.
He has to tap, I think.
Or guard it, yeah.
And another red in the house now, so. Another guard to come here for John Epping.
And why they felt that it wasn't bad is that Reed rolled his shooter. That's the red one at the top of the Tim Hortons cup on the left. And if it is guarded, that is what he will run in on his final stone.
And if they can ever stick that, avoid the jam, could be for 4.
But for John, he'll protect the easier shot, which is the short run back, and will try to replace the guard.
Just past half. We're just past half.
A little past you, Maddie. Whoa, line's good. A little past you right now. Right to you.
Doesn't need to curl.
A little past.
We've noticed, Kathy, these guards are so tough to throw, and most of the time under-iced is what we've noticed this week.
Spot, John.
They do finish very hard when the weight comes off.
Throw, bud.
Pretty good placement by John. And Braden and Reed lining up that shot we talked about.
Throw, John.
Thirds, yeah, just over thick half.
Yeah. Right where you want to hit it.
Yeah, it's probably not going to do nothing for me. Like, so that's where we want to hit.
I like that. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Firm or my?
Throw that same weight.
Okay.
That was like a hard firm.
Don't throw it hard. You throw normal.
Just got to hit it right. Firm's enough.
Those ones all come into play.
Firm.
We got to get Vic in here to teach you how to count there, Kathy.
Wow. one, and one more one.
Well, in theory, you weren't wrong. 1 + 1 was 2. A couple more. Through all this, so I don't think we've actually heard them say who the shot stone. I still think it is.
It is Ontario,
yeah, okay.
Yes.
Reed Carruthers hoping that is not for long. There's a better look, and yes, thank you to our great TSN crew. Your video evidence, it is indeed shot stone for now anyways, Ontario. Final one here in 2. A lot of rocks in play. It's the long run back for a bundle. Bang it, check the angle, kiss it, and he can't move it enough for 4, but 2 is pretty good.
That's still a peach for 2.
Just a millimeter.
Watch how close you'll get to that yellow guard out front, the yellow one in the 12-foot.
If it would have kissed that yellow, Kathy, might have helped a little bit to hit it a little thicker right there. The rub might have helped.
Very nice shot.
Well done for Team Manitoba. A lot of rocks in play.
Great story.
And they lead 2-1. Welcome back to Regina. A lot of rocks in play in our first 2 ends. And in that second end, Reed Carruthers made a great shot, close to being for 4, but he picked up 2.
Well, he made a great shot, and it really is not always what you make, it's what you leave. And on his first attempted run back, he left himself a long guard, something that he could utilize, makes full use of this. Really tough to make that shot for 4, great to make it for 2.
The key shot brought to you by Scotty's, the tissue for any issue.
No big smile from Reed. He was still hoping for more than 2. Very nice shot.
So a 2-1 advantage for Team Manitoba over John Epping and Ontario. So here in 3, throwing the yellow stones, it is Epping with hammer.
Nice. Good. I kind of overdid it early with Kowski. That's perfect.
And your textbook start, Colin Hodgson, top 4, and then the center line guard. And you see the corner guard out there from Tim March on the Tim Hortons Cup.
Feet slower than that real quick stuff, eh?
I think it'll be close to me. They're throwing a bunch, so it'll be just a couple feet.
Just stay close.
For Ontario, they gave 2 that end, but they have to feel pretty confident about the way that they played. When you leave your opponent, I don't know, a 12-foot run or even longer from the angle, and he makes it for 2, you've done what you can. So you go back after him now, try to score 2 right away.
Yeah?
Well, he's running. What if I threw a guard?
You like a high guard ever?
You throw a guard, he freezes again, and then he's running.
Dead some.
Yeah, if you are, you're going to be a touch on this side, I think. But
I don't mind that.
With this, he might, like Colin said, he might freeze.
You're okay if he freezes?
I just think he's freezing then.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's
like
freeze.
I think we got to go here.
Sure. Okay, boys. So
We're throwing a tight guard and we're sweeping it there. So
tight guard. Speed's good, right?
15. Throw 15. We'll sweep it there.
So wanting to have some separation, doesn't want to come right down on top of those two stones.
Line's
If
good.
you do that, there's a freeze on top, and then at the tap, at some point, it will be very easy to remove the Manitoba shot stone.
Where is it?
So trying to duck around.
Three. Keep going.
Hard.
Let's go here.
Hard.
Right here, guys.
Yep, keep going.
Right here.
Where we are.
Make it curl a
Right
bit,
here.
see?
Where we are.
No, doesn't need to curl. Right here. Just to the broom. Good.
Good spot. Good sweep, guys.
Sit.
Good sweep.
Good. Shot. Fine.
Pretty good. But you're right. This stuff here and then going away isn't as quick.
7/8, 3/4, 7/8.
7/8, Patty.
Try to remove both of those red stones and roll to the other Tim Hortons cup. Allow yourself to have 2 corner guards.
Yep. Roll it. Good shot.
Shot, Pat.
Nicely done.
Beauty.
Curl?
Yeah, just a little bit.
So same weight, boys?
Same throw, buddy. Same
So
weight,
exact
perfect.
same weight,
Yeah.
split center.
Yeah.
Eddie McKenzie, a blank in the third, so he keeps the Hammer in the fourth, down by 1-2.
Line's
New
good.
Brunswick.
Line's good.
A lot of room, Derek.
Little bit,
Line's
Colin.
pretty good, B. Line's good.
2/3.
Line's good.
Not quite as much weight.
Okay, both
curl.
of you go then.
How's line?
Make it
Line's
curl a
good
bit.
if you get it
Gotta
here.
curl.
2, 3. Go ahead,
3.
Braden. Both of you got to go.
Hard, bud.
Hard, guys. Got to touch the line.
Hard.
Go. Hard. I think it's just enough.
See, take less ice on
Shot,
guards.
Jared.
You might be able to do the wiggle wham through or no?
Yeah.
The wiggle wham through, that's a new one, Kath.
The wiggle web through, I think what he means is that you run it back.
I don't know what else you do.
You move it actually behind the corner guard. You get rid of the shot stone, obviously, but the yellow goes, the wiggle is to the left behind that guard.
Get this in the house.
Oh, changing.
Yeah, but you're still.
Can try and play that
Yeah.
with hack.
Yeah.
I don't
Tap it in behind the
Quebec,
corner.
Nunavut.
My first thought was.
And every time we look over, Mike Fournier doing a great job to apply the pressure once again. Fournier lying two, and one to come from
Hanging out there.
David St. Louis.
Needs a bite of the forefoot.
If he likes to tap, right?
If you like the tap, John.
Out of the Iqaluit Curling Club.
If you like the tap.
Yep.
By the Redstone, a little tap, and that should be good enough for Shot Rock, so he's on the board. And Quebec does lead 5-1 after 3.
And a good call in the house to make sure that that did not overcurl that back stone.
Yep. Whoa.
Good, Pat.
And there's the wiggle through.
Good.
Opens up the front, and another stone in the house for Team Ontario.
Nose is okay, just to make the double.
Hair high is normal.
Oh, it's tough to kill the second one. No?
Yeah,
Good throw, firm too. Okay, just a hair high.
Should be nothing, eh?
So realistically, I can hit what? 2/3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Double on the
Is that
yellows.
better than nose? Probably.
Yeah. Look for actually
Yeah.
more separation, I thought.
Yeah.
You're about 3/4 is perfect.
Yep.
Yep. Hard calling. Really
Hard.
gotta go.
Yep. Hard.
Really
Yep.
gotta go, bud.
Hard.
Hard
Gotta
calling.
go. Whoa.
Hard. Great shot, B.
Nice little kiss on that yellow stone, and enough to move it out.
Perfect.
Great.
Very nice shot. Sticks around with the shooter as well.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
He's really come to play this week so
Yes.
far in his hometown. He's looked great. Last time we checked in, it was Matt Dunstone, Saskatchewan, putting up 4 on the board against the Olympic champion from 2014. And here in 3, One to come from Brad Jacobs. He is shot stone at Yellowstone, top 4. That's the shot stone. So it is the out-turn draw and a chance for 2.
Matt Dunstone came down on his last one, and it is the Redstone that is currently second shot. So he shrunk the scoring zone considerably for Brad Jacobs.
And a 2-time Canadian junior finalist, Tanner Horgan. You see him sweeping on the left in for Ryan Harnden, who's under the weather and unable to play, and EJ will kick that away. So just the single as the draw weight not there. And Saskatchewan leads 4-1. And keep in mind, a 2-2 record when it comes to this pool play. You don't want to fall to 3 losses. Otherwise, you might be looking at a tie-break situation. So for Steve Laycock, pretty much a must-win this morning at the Brand Center.
Yep, gotta go. Gotta go, guys. You gotta go every inch. Okay. Okay.
Manitoba lies 2. So to follow up on that, so critical when we get to Thursday. There's that championship round of 8 as the top 4 advance from each pool. Saskatchewan comes in Pool B on the right side at 2-2. In our feature matchup, Ontario-Manitoba looking pretty good. And then in Pool A, you see Team Canada still perfect. And a number of teams there at 2-2. The Territories, Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, Labrador at 1-3. So just keep in mind, it's the top 4 that will move on. So we'll keep you posted as we get closer to Thursday. And the key point, I think, Kathy, to hammer home with people is that you carry your record forward. So even if you just sneak in to that championship pool, boy, it's tough. You got to keep winning and hope for some help to make the Final 4. And then from there, it's the Page playoff system.
Because don't forget, when you carry your record forward, you are going against the top 4 teams from the other pool. So there's no free lunch.
Especially if you're working with Russ Howard.
Well, there's no free anything.
No free lunch.
Well, the double tip by Matt Cam, not made. And those rocks, when they're right beside each other, those doubles are some of the most difficult because very rarely are those stones even. There's always one that's just marginally ahead of the other. And so to hit it right in the middle and make both go, you have to hit it perfect. And typically you get one just a little thicker than the other, which is what happened.
Yep. Good weight. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Yep.
Might as well.
Keeps the shooter.
Close. Pretty good, Reed.
Maybe just like
good weight.
Really good. That was normal on your hand. Okay. Good shot, man.
Really good shot, buddy.
This need to be a touchdown.
Hey?
Touchdown on the
goal was not necessarily to roll behind the corner guard. They wanted to make sure they stuck around, trying to create a force situation. And a lot of separation between the 2 stones.
Let me draw the button here, bud.
Okay. And realizing that, John Epping is going to try to utilize that now. Make a good one on his first, maybe still find a way to score 2 here in 3.
Just maybe a hair light, but real close.
Weight's
good, Maddie.
Where?
Weight's good. Top 8.
He beat Glenn Howard 5-1 in that Ontario Provincial Final for his first Purple Hearts.
When you can. Go.
He lost in the Ontario Finals 2015, 2016. Incredible, never say die attitude. 11 appearances at the Ontario Provincials, and then finally breaking through his first Brier here in Regina. That slid a bit too far. Looks to be second shot stone.
It is, and I'm right behind that sheet, and really was hoping that it would finish harder, and with a little bit less weight it might have. About half open for Reed Carruthers.
Even the nose, too.
Yep.
Yep. Bump. Okay. It's gradual here, guys.
Yeah. Bumper.
Yeah.
Toss your brap. Bumper hammer. A little heavy, Reed.
Solid. Just
little
easy,
heavy.
easy.
Just clean.
Yep.
Little heavy.
Yep.
Heavy.
Clean.
Whoa, then. Whoa.
Clean's like easy.
Whoa. Big roll. Big roll.
Roll it. Yep.
Keep going. Go.
Shot.
Pretty good weight.
That's
Yeah, it
solid
was.
bump.
Hard
Good shot,
bump.
Reed. Yeah, good throw, bud.
Maybe just.
Sorry, boys. I just got you on it a bit early. Good throw.
Yeah, we didn't need to nose it. No.
So John could draw for his single, but from that broom, I'm assuming it's the hit for one.
It is.
It's funny, every skiff, right? They have their own tendencies or whatever they prefer. And a game we called yesterday, and we saw Brad Gushu put the broom down, and I assumed it was for the hit. I should have known better. He loves to draw, especially the intern, and it was the draw for one. But whatever gets the job done.
It's more margin for error on this one for John. If it over curls a little bit, he's got a catcher in that other red stone.
Clean.
And he uses it.
Sweep tip.
Thanks.
A single on the board for Team Ontario and John Epping as we're tied up at 2 here in Regina. The Masters comes your way Thursday, April 5th with first round action. Coverage begins 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Pacific across the TSN network and on CTV, presented by Mercedes-Benz. Sergio Garcia, your defending champ. Him and his wife also expecting a baby very shortly. Phil Mickelson coming off a big win in Mexico City. We'll see if Lefty can get another green jacket. Not exactly golf conditions in the Regina area the last few days. A lot of snow. Kathy got kicked out of Vic Rauter's van.
Oh, I was
all sorts of storylines.
Used me as a tarp to get some traction.
I drove backwards in my car for about a kilometer to get home.
It's crazy. We followed 3 plows to get in this morning. Just huge volumes of snow here.
The beauty of the prairies, though, in wintertime. We're both from the prairies growing up, so no real surprise.
Top 4.
A tie game in our feature matchup, Ontario and Manitoba. The hit and stick. He used that catcher as John Epping picked up a single in 3. So here in 4 it is Manitoba throwing the red stones with hammer.
Just to let you know.
Brushed super hard to get by that front and just came out the other side.
Let's make this. Speed will be good here.
You hear the comment, too, as Tim March finds the button. He threw a wrong stone, so obviously they are matched for each player, and he grabbed a wrong stone there.
And part of that was to explain to John Epping why it moved as much as it did.
Curling early, hard, 3.
Yeah.
Hard line. Line.
Gotta go, guys, gotta go.
Line's pretty good if you go. Hard. Hard, Derek. Line's good.
Take the yellow, we're top 12.
Light, touch the yellow.
Whoa,
You gotta touch something.
Touch it.
Your updates continue. New Brunswick, a 1-0 advantage over Prince Edward Island. And there was some discussion, not sure who shot stone is, but there is one to come from Eddie McKenzie out of the Charlottetown Curling Complex. So I think the play is the intern draw / tap and ensure that he can score his 2.
Well, I wouldn't bet the farm because I don't have a farm to bet, but from the overhead it looked as though it might be that yellow stone that is shot. Doesn't need to move it more than a couple of inches.
And there you see that guard, the reason why he couldn't just play the hit. But that works, and that's definitely 2 for Eddie McKenzie.
2 red.
We saw Eddie in St. John's, but he failed to come through that pre-competition format, and obviously a brand new format this time around. So PEI looking to have a good showing here at the Brier in Regina.
And he is playing well. His whole team is. He has made some remarkable shots this week already.
It's real good.
Okay, well,
We're just short of half.
well, it should slide better.
Yeah,
We're half. Yeah, whoa.
Now with those 3 stones locked out front,
Whoa.
Short of half.
Whoa.
trying to make sure there is no run back on the red stone. And that guards that.
2/3 of this.
Oh, 2/3, big half.
2/3, 3/4. Let's go, buddy. Oh, wow. Wow.
Derek Samagalski.
Nose is better.
Big weight and just a straight peel.
Okay. I should get that, Jones. Okay, so you think same weight then?
Or a hair less is fine.
Say a foot less. Okay.
Line's a little tight,
Right, hair
guys.
deeper.
Yeah, line. Whoa, then.
Hair deeper, John.
Whoa, we're going to overcurl. Whoa.
Okay. Hair deeper.
Whoa. No, it should be slower. It's
coming down.
Looks like it's coming down, guys.
Whoa.
Hair higher.
Whoa.
One guard.
Whoa, high's better. This first one's going to run better, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Quarters?
Let's go, buddy.
So take two here for Derek.
Whoa.
Trying to move some granite around.
Curl hair.
Just misses it.
Throw.
Well, we have a
Stretch.
tie game, and we've talked about head-to-head. It's been Reed Carruthers at 8 points or 8 wins, but look at the parity of these teams. So at the very bottom, they are the exact same percentages going in. The leads, well, they're only 2 percentages apart, and they're both even amongst their competitors. 3 percentage points, but the seconds are even. 89, the exact same percentages for the thirds and the exact same for the skip. Shouldn't be any surprise that it's 2-2. And those pluses, those are some really big numbers. You saw some +4s. That means that every time they take to play, as we have a hog line violation. And that is his second in 2 days. He had one pulled last night as well.
Another look at a tough one here for Matt Cam.
Fingers still on the handle as he goes across the sensor. You can see the darker gray area.
We're very happy
Good
with.
chance at one.
For sure
I think
it's in?
Well, it's not dead plan.
No one felt worse than Eddie McKenzie, who had one as well and gave up a steal of 4 when he was playing fantastic against Northern Ontario. Brad Jacobs.
The other way to play it, I guess, is to hit 3/4 this way.
Yeah, you're just losing so much momentum, hey?
I know, but this is going to spin then.
Or is it just going to shoot it more that way because of the bit of space?
Update on Sheet D, Saskatchewan, a 4-1 advantage over Northern Ontario after cracking open a 4. That 4-ender that Brad Jacobs allowed to Saskatchewan was the first since the 2011 Brier when he gave up a 4 spot to Jamie Cooey. And as for Steve Laycock, he's the skip. That young man, Matt Dunstone, throwing the final stones for the team, the 4th rock thrower. Steve is 25-25 at the Brier as a skip, so a chance to get over 500 this morning on home ice here in Saskatchewan.
Needs to stick around.
Yeah, that yellow stone in the wings, and that's a mistake. And that one lone yellow up there, that'll be a single. So a steal of 1 as Saskatchewan still leads 4-2.
Yep, hard, hard. Gotta roll this red, guys. Gotta roll the red. Roll the red. Hard, Derek. Hard.
Okay, it's better.
Cleans up the top a little bit.
It does. You promote another stone in the house, but the way those 3 stones were locked before, not a lot of good runbacks for Team Manitoba, plus no way to the 4-foot for Reed.
Hit something. Yeah, it's...
Look at the 3 lineup. Not a lot of good opportunities. Hoping Derek is that he could get that corner guard further over.
Even if you just, even if you nose it to here is pretty good. You just don't want to push it. Doesn't matter. Yeah.
No. Okay.
Back 4.
Back 4 here, Manny.
Back 4.
2 more for Quebec over Nunavut. So a 7-1 advantage for Mike Fournier, making his first Brier appearance. If you haven't heard the story, he's a superstitious man, that Mike Fournier. Could have went to many Briers as a fan, but he said, I'm not going to the Brier until I show up as a player. I want to compete at it first, and here he is now.
And that's your take on the Masters as well?
Oh, gee. Oh, man. I would break a few laws to go play Augusta.
Back 12.
Drop a ball, hit a couple wedges till they take me off in handcuffs. Be a good way to go out.
Hard!
Come on.
Go, Johnny. Go. Okay.
Good, Matt.
Our bad, Matt. That came down a lot at the end there for you.
It's getting slower there.
Well, for Matt, the tough part is that where he tapped it to, you can see that the double's lined up for Reed. And if they make the double, they'll also be behind that yellow stone in the top of the 12-foot.
Shouldn't do a whole lot, I don't think.
Hit what you can see, Kathy?
Pretty much. Even a little bit less.
Well, right off. Close. No, close. No, close.
Stay close.
Braden Muskogee.
Stay close. Just in case.
Curl. Okay.
Shot, B.
And he does. Just get them both.
Shot, Braden.
As the shooter spills through.
Any more curl.
Another inch.
Yeah, good toss, bud.
Probably had to hit all I could see.
Yeah, good toss. Missed the guard by a lot, didn't we there?
3 inches. You had to kind of get something.
Ah, close.
Missed the guard.
Probably had to hit all I could see to make it stick. Had about
Seen this spot yet?
Tom to give us 3 feet more than his T-line draw last time.
You think so, though?
4
This
feet.
has got to run fresh, eh?
Yeah.
We haven't seen it yet.
So what is speed? Like, obviously I had a fast one, so that's not exactly what I felt was draw weight, eh?
No, I think that would have been with a regular rock, probably would have been top 8, top 12.
That rock was 3 to 4 feet fast.
Yeah.
Mine? Okay.
Yeah.
So we're like at that 14.5-ish then.
Yeah,
So
I think
here's probably running 14.
14, I'd say,
14,
yeah.
Yeah.
You got the stopwatch out there, Kathy, I see.
I do, and I found that really interesting, saying that the other rock that John throws is, in their opinion, 3 to 4 feet faster. So trying to make the adjustment on this one.
Top 4.
Line's good.
And what time are you looking for here, Kathy?
I'm going to guess about 14.6.
Coming down, Matty. Pad in. Pad in.
It's T already.
Okay.
Top 4.
Yep, Pat,
Top
go.
4.
Well,
We
that's
can go.
14.2.
You can go.
Not T.
And it looks like it's got
How
lots.
deep do you want it?
Yep, yep, yep.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
So pretty good weight. They just couldn't bury it.
John.
This ran pretty good, eh?
It ran a little better than we thought, for sure.
It's kind of the weight I wanted. It just ran a little better. Just a little bit.
Yeah, good throw.
Thanks.
They're not swinging as hard as they were
No,
yesterday.
no.
Good
5,
throw.
6.
And it ran a little bit better, meaning that it didn't need as much sweeping. You throw a little bit less weight, might get that extra movement and be buried behind the corner. But you also heard Matt say that he doesn't feel it's curling as much today.
That's what I was wondering.
So let me bring this up, Kathy. I hear you
You don't
and
have to
Russ
kill
and
it, right?
Cheryl
If you get it
talk
back
about
here,
Jimmy Barassa, the
Just edge on
head
in.
ice official here
If
in
you see
charge
it,
of the ice and the
think you would
rocks.
back
And
line
what you
probably.
guys have
Let
talked
him
about
freeze.
is that
No.
he will texturize or
freezes it.
sandpaper,
Right on
if
the
you
button.
will, the rocks to start an event and then leave them alone.
He
And
does.
then there's
I
a
don't
certain
like that
part of
at
the
all.
competition where they curl a little bit less. So is today maybe that day that we got to start to pick up on that?
Yeah,
Could
You
be.
get it back line.
It's, yeah, just back line.
We don't have to kill it, right? Gotta get it out of the 8. Right there. Good, man.
Gonna
So
roll
back line,
under.
eh?
So different people do
Go under.
different things. We
very
certainly
gradual.
saw
Okay.
Dave Merklinger do that halfway through event.
Yeah,
For
it's a
Jamie, he'll do that in the
If we make
beginning.
roll under the guard,
And
it
then
does
he
make a
says he
difference.
does not touch them
Don't have to kill it.
through the rest of the week. And so you will start to see certainly still moving
weight do you want?
conditions, but not as much. And there's Jamie as we look at it. Had some struggles earlier in the week trying to guess, crowd sizes and opening ceremonies and Fort Hot Shots. There's so many different elements early in the week that they have to try to guess around. Then the snow came and people are bringing that in on their jackets. But the conditions, I would say starting yesterday morning, true, similar, consistent,
line,
and that is
Wayne.
what the
It's good.
curlers want.
It's a little-
Maybe a wee straighter.
Just
That's
move.
not the ice, that's the rocks.
That'd be a stat I'd love to see, is if you could actually pinpoint when there was the change, the stats from players who were having a great start to the week, and then another stat, how they did after the rocks changed, per se, to see how they adjusted and who adjusted the best. To me, that'd be an interesting stat.
Agreed.
Anything more? Nice shot. Good weight.
Good throw, Reed.
Good try, buddy. Oh, it's close. Yeah,
As our
and
stats guy, Bill, to my left, rolls his eyes and goes, "Thanks, Muddy. Just more work to do." I love it.
You think this will run a little fresh, or are you okay?
I got 12-7 on readers there to
Oh, okay.
just through type of
A
thing.
little fresh then, eh?
Yeah. Not much, Johnny. A couple feet.
I can't see very much from the hack, and this is where you put the blinders on and really just look at the broom
Solid hack.
Hair salt.
Whoa, whoa!
A little big.
and trust the weight that you're throwing will get the finish that you are anticipating.
Pat.
Hard pass. Hard, Pat.
Hard on the red, Maddie. Hard, 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 hard.
Right on, Maddie. That's good.
Sorry, guys. It's okay. Didn't. Speed was.
Sorry, buddy.
Oh. You get sweet time. Yours are taking their sweet
Mine
time
are really
today.
running a lot straighter.
Well, it did run straighter, but mission accomplished for John Epping. It's the force for Manitoba. But that did run quite a long time on the center line before it made its gradual move off.
14-7, Colin?
Yeah. Good toss, Sherbrap.
So we saw earlier the draw for John. You got the stopwatch out again. We'll see what Reed does then with his return draw and his stone. Final stone in 4 and a 2-2 tie and a draw for 1.
What do you think?
Weight's good. No worries on line. Weight's good.
Little bit for line.
Little bit. Little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
weight's
line.
good.
Can't hurt it.
Gotta
Can't
go.
hurt it. Hard line, come on.
Gotta go. Really
So if
gotta
you're
go.
playing
boys.
along at home, and I hope you are, 14-4-3.
Hard, guys.
And just by the guard, a little wick,
Wow, that move.
and
Yeah,
just
weight
enough
was
to get it in.
I didn't think we were ever getting close to that. Wow, good throw, Reed. Good throw.
So maybe he's got a cutter.
Yeah, weight was great.
Yeah, it was. I thought if anything.
Good enough though for a single. Manitoba leads 3-2.
That wasn't soft at all. No, it was really nice.
Welcome back to our Brier coverage. And champions start small and very cute.
Loving the toque. Keeping the little melon warm.
And into it. Into the action. That is awesome. Welcome back to our coverage. Tim Hortons Brier, Brian Mudrick, Kathy Gauthier with you. In a close game, our feature matchup, Manitoba, Ontario. And a single on the board for Reed Carruthers. And we picked up on that conversation. Reed felt he threw it real good. The front end didn't even think that guard would come into play. A little tick, but it was enough weight as he picked up his single.
And I also do think that beyond the rock, that is what John Epping thought his would do and didn't. So maybe there's a bit of a spot where the break happens.
Update time, Prince Edward Island, New Brunswick, both come in with 1-3 records, so a must-win if they hope to make that championship pool. And there you see Eddie McKenzie sitting 1-2-3, and a very tough draw here for James Grattan. He needs full 4. He'd love that Tim Hortons pin.
I'm just looking over, and Jim was taking a long time in the hack. Looking down, it really is all he's got, the out-turn draw. I'm not sure what the discussion was, but he's set.
Yep, Derek. Yep, Derek. Yep.
Do you know where James Grattan is from?
Or a Muckdo.
I was going to say, Vic Roeder must be on the take there for that tourism for that town.
Yep.
He is from Oromocto, New Brunswick, and his final stone. And a big scrub here. Chris Jeffrey, Andy McCann, Peter Case make up this New Brunswick team by the red. Enough.
Very nice.
Well done from James Grattan.
Huge shot.
And that is a big game when it comes to Pool B play, as the winner obviously keeps their hopes alive in making that championship round, which begins Thursday.
Whoa. You got a little bounce.
Go, Pat, go, Pat, go, Pat. Go, Patty, go.
Nice shot, Tim.
Good.
Great patience by the Brushers. Huge break at the end.
Throwing close to 15. 14-8, 15.
Five. Whoa. Clean. 6.
He's running good. Yeah, I agree.
6. Whoa.
Can we go around it?
No, I don't think that much.
It's bouncing.
Close. It's close, though.
Can't touch it, it might sit.
It's close.
Whoa.
Not enough to go around.
It's close.
It's close, guys.
Gotta sit.
Yep, line.
We're there.
Good.
Holy, that big. Good call, Musk.
It's a little heavy if we just kind of, yeah, it was.
One of those ones where he's kicking out, like his splits are real high and he's pinching them.
Yeah.
Hack. Okay.
Do you think you need a third of a rock here?
Hack, Patty, I think you're going to run
Wait.
good here.
Okay. Hack, guys.
Well, from the hack, there's only about Gosh, less than a third
Yeah, I gotta go really hard.
that he is able to see.
Gotta go to roll off the guard,
Whoa.
Timmy.
Whoa.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa.
How's this roll looking?
I think you just leave
All
it.
right, mate.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Hoping to spill that shooter into the house.
And I think he knew he was
That's
tight
good,
on the
Pat.
word
Very
go
good.
because one of the
Pat.
first things Patrick said is got to go hard to roll off the guard.
Big roll.
Sweep, Timmy. That's hard.
And that's a good call by the thrower for
big.
Patrick. Knew he was a little bit soft. Get the most out of what you've got.
I like solid easy.
Need to roll that
I
far?
think you better throw normal here to be sure.
Normal.
Sure. You like normal beat?
Yeah, I do.
Is it going to do anything here or no?
I think that's good.
Dave St. Louis with the blank for Nunavut. So it is Quebec leading 7-1 in the sixth end. Nunavut will have hammer, try to climb the mountain there in that game against Quebec.
Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Because Manitoba knows that Ontario is going to play the nose, and get shot. They want to make sure there's not extra Ontario stones lying in the house.
hard.
Well, I was throwing want this to be high so the red doesn't
Here,
jam.
right?
Where's
Or
the
put it at
best?
double.
Top 12?
Yeah.
Top 12, Patty. A little wide. Okay.
It's okay. It's not
Trying to utilize the corner guard.
I asked John yesterday if anything had surprised him so far, or maybe
Mighty
caught him a bit off guard in his first Brier, and he said, no, to be honest, all my trials experience, you know, that's a big show. There's a ton of pressure. He's played in 3 of them, and he said that's really got us set for this moment. And he said the recent trials in Ottawa, he was really happy his team got that experience as well. We mentioned that Cam had been to a Brier before, but he felt it was a great team learning moment, those trials, and a tough one there is some frustration. They can't get that into the rings, but they'll carry that trials experience forward into this Brier.
This should run a little straighter now.
Well, grazing that top guard took some weight off, but for Patrick, he knows now that Manitoba's got the opportunity to change the outcome of this end instead of having a chance to lie 2.
Whoa. 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 Whoa.
How good is that?
Pretty precise.
The pick to perfection. And some kids in attendance.
Rider pride all year long here.
Right next to Mosaic, where the Rough Riders play as well. So the hub of sports.
Take a deep breath.
That is a beautiful building. We drive by it every day.
Park right beside it, right by the Brand Center.
Hey, Maddie. You got this one.
Yep. Whoa.
Matt Cam looking to erase some red.
Roll.
And that'll help.
Good, Matt. That boy.
As 2 disappear. And just 1 stone in the rings, belonging to Team Ontario.
Another one for him to come behind. They're drawn anyways. Yeah, half under.
Go to edge on edge.
Sure.
So a potential blank still in the works, but Reed Carruthers hoping to roll behind cover.
Easy.
Not actually behind cover, Brian. What he'd like to do is roll towards that corner, stay almost out in the open, and so it will force John Epping to either go out really wide and still have a run back. The problem is if you roll under, you're going to be in the 12-foot. John Epping will ignore that and go underneath you, and then you're chasing again. So be perfectly happy with that stick the way it was.
Toss, bud. It's probably
weight.
Perfect.
Board.
Saw Patty's kind of board waiter here, so.
Yeah.
Nice and positive, Maddie.
Solid board.
Board up.
Whoa. Yeah.
Heavy.
Whoa.
Little heavy.
Yeah.
Close, Johnny.
Wings good.
Yes.
Good. All right, Timmy, you gotta go, buddy.
Hard.
Get a nose.
Whoa. 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 Good.
The rock might be slow. He whipped that.
On the nose for Matt Cam.
Rock might be a little slow.
Under with it, eh?
he draws and go to
Can't really
there.
do that, because then if he sinks, you miss the run. It's a split for 3,
Yeah,
right? We kind of got to get it
probably.
in.
You think so? Can't go here?
So then
what
he
does
sinks
play?
it. If he
And then I
sinks it,
freeze.
yeah, you'd have to freeze, right? You
Yeah.
couldn't afford to play
But
this.
if he's going around mine, he's gonna have to be here. Otherwise, I have a short run.
Yep. Yep.
So I think this is a shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
I don't.
That or what's?
Then he's drawing here for sure.
Okay.
And then I have to freeze.
'Kay.
It gives me more room for error if I'm here. I think.
agree.
Okay.
Roll a foot.
Yeah. So a little less than you.
Okay.
Well, a really great
Same
discussion
weight.
of options by Reed and Braden. So the fear is that if you nose hit it, John Epping goes
Roll it
around,
just a
and if the
touch.
shot's not made, that yellow stone in front of the house is very easily splittable.
We have to
And
roll it
to
a bit,
take
otherwise
that
he
way-
might be able to
You
split
could
right out
throw,
of
you could throw firm, and if you hit 3/4, it just touches that.
I like this shot though.
Okay.
So this is the hit and roll a little bit to the right. It's probably not
Roll
going to
like
be in the
6
house.
inches
Yeah,
is real
you
good.
bet.
Easy hammer.
But if John Epping goes around, because that stone that Reed is hoping to roll will not be buried, he'll be able to run it straight back, and it also takes away the split. So doing two things with this, giving
Little
himself
heavy.
a second
Solid.
shot
More
and
than me.
taking away
More
a
than me,
future
Will.
shot.
Yeah, a little more than you.
Green.
Yep.
Weight's good.
Yep. Whoa.
Yes.
Yep. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Great shot, Reed.
And just nibbles
Go get
the
it.
12-foot.
Peach, Reed.
Thanks.
Great
Perfect.
shot, man. Nice
Thanks.
weight.
Great shot.
Ooh, that's a good shot.
Nice nibbling too. Eh?
Absolutely perfect.
Sweet.
Great shot.
So John Epping not going to be lured into that, to go around and then have Reed run it back. This call to hit and roll away is saying
Kinda
that
wait
he's
here,
happy
Reed.
to blank.
Back 4, back 8.
Back 4, back 8. Tap yellow.
Stay here more.
Speed's pretty close here now.
As John Epping delivers his first here in 5, we peek in on Saskatchewan and Northern Ontario. And at this point, Saskatchewan is sitting 1 and 2. So a draw for 3, it looks like, for Matt Dunstone.
It is Brad Jacobs' final stone picked.
Hey, John. Good.
And while it's great for Saskatchewan to have an opportunity for 3, no one likes to see picks out there. Just starts to create some nervousness inside. You just don't want anybody missing that way.
Matt Dunstone made a nice double in the second to pick up 4.
Great chance here, though.
No rub there for you.
Create some huge separation on the scoreboard.
13-9. I think you got to go a bit.
As the Myers brothers, Dallin Kirk on the brush. Steve Laycock, brush up. That is 3, and the crowd responds here at the Brand Center. So in pretty much a must-win game for Saskatchewan, a real good performance so far. They lead 7-2, an unfortunate pick for Brad Jacobs. But as Brad said to you, actually, when there was the hog line violation at A. McKenzie, it's a Brier, and sometimes you just got to take your breaks and run with them.
You get.
So I'm thinking I want to throw 14-5.
Yeah.
So Reed's going around here, Kathy?
He is.
I think it's close.
The weight's there.
Easy early.
Weight's good. What's there? What's there mean? What's there mean? No, weight's good.
It's a little heavy.
Close.
Close.
Yep, yep,
Line
yep.
only. Line's good. Line only.
Yep. Weight's good.
Line's good.
Room.
Easy. Back 8.
It's perfect.
Stay close, Derek.
It's gonna have to curl.
Yeah, hard guys, hard guys.
Cross it. Go, Derek. Go, go, go,
Now
go,
trying
go.
to finish it for Reed Carruthers.
Go, go, hard. Go, hard, Derek.
And they drag it to the button, a little bit exposed. You know what I love, though, about that shot, Kathy? The communication. When I hear the front end go, it's there, and then you hear the response, what's there? As in, where is there? Like, how deep is it?
The other thing that was really interesting is we saw some old school sweeping. So right now they're going for weight. When they realize that they need to get it to move, you see Braden come out, so you have 2 brushers that are using their push strength together to try to make it move. That's how we used to sweep in the old days. You don't see that anymore, but that's 2 people trying to make it finish.
So an opportunity now for the deuce for John Epping. He's got to get around those guards up top with enough weight to remove that red stone and a chance for a pair.
Yep. Hard! Hard, 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 hard. Whoa.
By the guards, no problem.
Johnny.
Tap it out, no problem.
Very nice.
Johnny be good. John Epping with a pair in a close game. Thus far through 5, it is Ontario leading.
The 2018 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by Tim Hortons, official coffee of curling Canada.
Well, we expected that this would be a very good game. You see ones, you see twos, and that last two scored by John Epping. That's a huge advantage as he goes into the 5th end break, and he is with Brian.
John, a close game through 5, a nice shot there in the 5th to pick up your 2. You told me yesterday these guys seem to have your number. So are you pretty happy with how you've come out so far?
Yeah, I think it's taken a bit of adjustment so far with the ice. A little straighter today than yesterday. We've gotten caught on it a couple of times, and we've let them off the hook a couple of ends. We've had our chances, so hopefully we can close the deal in the last half.
We have the luxury of listening in and hearing conversations, and in particular, your rocks. What are you seeing with your pair out there so far?
Yeah, I started with actually a straight one, and we wanted going into the game if it was, and it's definitely about 5-6 feet faster than the rest of the set. So we've got that. So now I've got two that I think are pretty close.
General question, how are you enjoying this, your first Brier?
Oh, it's awesome. And it's great to be on Saskatchewan's pool because the crowds here are awesome, and they're loud, and it's a blast.
Enjoy it. Thanks for your time.
Thanks so much.
Well, he's loving being here, and it's showing up on the scoreboard. Well, look at the numbers now, and they're brought to you by Travelers. It's better under the umbrella. We talked about the parity between these two teams. The edge on the draws, for sure, for Manitoba. The biggest difference right now, that's at the 3rd position, where Braden Muscoe is at 88%, Matt Cam at 68%. Don't forget, he would have got a 0 for that hogline violation for Manitoba. Been playing really well. They've got draw away. Need to find a way to score the deuce and get back ahead.
The 2018 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by New Holland, equipped for a new world. By Ford of Canada, proud partner with Curling Canada for over 20 years. And by Home Hardware. Here's how.
It's nice to know that I've played in so many Briers and been a part of it.
This is it. Brad Gushu, this is all he's got. Run back, try, bang the yellow, come back, red onto yellow, spin it back! You kidding me?
What a shot! We're ready to play this week. We're excited to wear the Canadian Maple Leaf on our back and excited to play at a Brier. It's a fun event. It's something we look forward to, and I expect us to be there at the end of the week.
Dating back to last year in St. John's, where he won that championship in his home city. He's on a 12-game Brier winning streak, taking on Jamie Murphy. That is our feature this afternoon. Vic, Cheryl, Russ, Kathy, myself, all the coverage. 3 p.m. Eastern Time, TSN 1, 3, and 4. As Brad Gushu made history at this year's Brier, he now has 115 wins as a skip and counting, the most all-time as a skip at the Brier, which is remarkable. And you look back, Kathy, on his records over the years, only one time in all those Brier appearances did he finish below 500. That is truly impressive.
It's not enough to just be here and say, well, you get the numbers because you're here. You don't. You don't get the wins because you're here. You get games played because you're here. And in the kinds of fields that have been at the Brier over the years, to only once not make 500,
Go if you can.
remarkable.
Hard, Matt. Hard if you can.
So we're through 5 in our feature matchup between Manitoba and Ontario. Play underway here in 6. It is Manitoba down by 1 with Hammer throwing the red stones. And that second one coming to rest from the Ontario lead, Tim March, one on the button, center guard. And you see Colin Hodgson has the tight corner guard up.
Not there.
Not bad. Line's good for a freeze.
We're there.
Oh, a little room. Line's good.
We're there.
Back, T-line.
Room.
Wait. Can't bounce in this line, Derek.
T-line.
Can't bounce in this line.
Line's good. We're there. It's bouncing. Bouncing.
Just T-line. Go. Just T-line. Yep, go ahead, Braden.
Well done.
Nice. Good shot.
Get inside here. Yeah. Put some pressure on him. You got a good idea from mine, eh?
Yeah, it seems like he's sliding pretty nice.
Yeah.
Some good comments from John Epping.
Hard line.
The one in particular that I liked is love being in the Saskatchewan pool. Sometimes people struggle with being in the same pool with the hometown crowd because there's roars when you're in the hack. But I thought that his comments to you, Brian, really showed how much he is loving the experience. Loves being out here when it's noisy because it's just a big part of being at the big show.
Okay, Patty.
14-5.
What's that?
14-5.
Did you get Collins?
That's good ice.
Yeah, 13-9.
And it was back 4?
Yeah.
14-5.
Yeah. 14 a quarter, 14-5. Not much of an ad here.
Line's good.
Weight's pretty good. Doesn't have much here.
Line's real good.
Just for weights.
Weight's good.
You can wait
already.
Whoa.
Frozen.
Weight's there.
No line.
Stay close, Colin. It's digging. This rock's dug a few
Really
times.
got to sit.
No.
Okay.
Whoa. 14.05. It's just a little hard.
Trying to throw 14.5.
14.05. It's a little hard.
Just heavy again.
Yeah.
Your updates
Just kicking
continue.
hard, I think.
Prince Edward Island, New Brunswick in a 2-2 tie with one stone to come in the sixth end. That stone coming from Eddie McKenzie.
Trying to get to the nose of those two.
Josh! Hard!
Josh Berry.
Ooh, that's another way to do it.
Whatever it takes. Yellows disappear. And 2 left for Eddie McKenzie. So a 4-2 advantage there over New Brunswick.
Sit in here.
Sure.
I like that better.
Kind of wait. Just freeze.
Yeah.
T-line?
Yeah, I almost want to see the same weight out of your hand on this side.
He wants to freeze, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back 8.
Whoa, Jimmy.
Look hard,
John.
Back 12.
Looked hard.
Back 8.
Trying. He's trying really hard.
Back 4 now.
Whoa. Has to
Trying.
curl a mile. Go, Matt. Just go,
Really
Matt.
hard. Little tap, not much.
Go, Matt. We got to curl. Okay.
Okay.
David St. Louis, a single.
Probably got to, eh?
I like
As
that.
Quebec leads
You end up
7-2.
killing
They're in the
this. All it still
7th,
spins
like
and goes.
Fournier with hammer.
Run the yellow back.
It's not the end of the world if these
You're
three
gonna
are
kill
gone,
her,
right?
which is fine.
No, run
it's
the
not a
yellow
bad
back. Get rid of both
situation.
yellows. Hair.
And if you
run the
stuff
guard
it on
back.
there, you make the back double.
Yep.
Hair low.
Just a hair high.
Yep. I like
Try to make it this way.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
3/4 of this one.
Doesn't have to bomb it either, eh?
No.
I like
Just
the
firm, Derek.
If you can't miss wide with the outgoal.
Hair high. Intern.
Like the
Just
end.
trying to run
Inch
this
high.
Firm. Yep.
ju-
Just
you don't
firm.
have to
straight
whip
So
back.
run
It
pretty
might
straight.
catch. Sorry, I don't want to draw on your head, Reed.
Hit it good.
But catch the back one as well. You probably lose one of the red ones. At this point, it really is about trying to open things up.
It's the center.
Not a lot of real estate for Reed to get to, but this is running.
Okay.
Fine.
Touch full. Sorry, guys.
Fine. Better than the other way. You just couldn't hit that pick.
Good here. Yeah. Sort of what I was thinking.
It's out of your top freeze again.
A little scary.
You could also
Throw
guard
normal.
one more, eh?
I like this.
Little low, millimeter low.
Hair low, hammer.
And for John Epping, even though he is currently shot, the way those two red ones are lined up, he knows it's only a matter of time.
Whoa. Normal.
So he'll make the first move. You saw those numbers for Matt, keeping in mind that he would have been given a 0 for the hog line violation. That's why the numbers are not as good.
Shot, Maddie.
Or a partial reason why, anyways.
Angle's a little nicer now for Team Ontario.
Much better.
Yeah.
Good control, weight.
Sure.
I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a shot.
Yeah.
It's almost a firm.
I think
Good normal. Hard normal.
Yeah.
Consistent whether he draws or hits.
Whoa.
As you said, he's feeding off the crowd even though he's wearing the yellow and white for Manitoba.
Go.
Saskatchewan board.
Eric Lindros across the board, 88%.
Good shot.
Really hard to make that good. You had to throw a cannon.
Just had to throw way harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't hit it.
Maddie. Go take a peek.
That's what I was thinking.
It's probably the best, isn't it?
That's what I was thinking.
You can hit that, but this is good. This is
No, I like
this
that
is
angle.
good. I think if
my
you
first thought was that.
I think you hit and roll into there, you're pretty happy.
Oh no, wait, same thing?
Whatever. Do you like that normal weight? Does
I
that feel
think so.
comfortable?
I got tons of room there.
Yep.
Those two yellows are lined up perfectly to come back onto that other red one, but they're going to stay that way. It is the stone that is out in the 4-foot that is more of a danger and more of a help for Reed Carruthers, so they'll make that one go away.
You throw on Maddie? Same weight, eh?
Yeah, same thing, guys.
Hair bigger.
Normal. Little bigger.
Never.
That growl is just hoping to get it to curl a little bit more and roll in and not leave that open for Manitoba.
Probably, yeah. I think so. Big half. Can I throw the out?
Yeah, I think so. You're going to get more action with it. Big half. Thick if anything, because it's not the end of the world if you do this.
If I hit 3/4, we're not dead.
Because then he plays this, and then I play some sort of triple. Yeah, 2/3.
Okay.
Thick half, 2/3.
Okay.
I think half still gets it.
Okay.
So I'd like to see half with the outturn.
Okay.
Just hit it right and looks pretty good.
You throwing 4? Okay.
Yeah, half for sure. Any more than half is too thick.
This year, Reed beat Mike McEwen 8-7 in that Manitoba final, going undefeated in provincial playdowns, and those two have met 4 of the last 5 years in the Manitoba final. For years it was Jeff Stoughton, it seemed, and now it's these two friends going back and forth in Manitoba, and obviously Mike here is the wild card team. Braden Muskogee.
Whoa! Curl a bit. Curl a bit.
Great shot.
Nice.
Rearranges things, and for now, with Hammer, Manitoba, line 2.
Beauty.
Great shot, Braden.
That was really good.
Just a hair thicker. It would have been nice. It would have shot that a little further.
Well, the reason they wanted it thicker is you catch
anything
that,
thicker to shoot that yellow
and
a bit
that
more.
yellow one would have gone more, as he said.
Was it?
And so this is a nose hit for John Epping to make both of those reds go away.
Like, I'm going to try and keep everything around. A little hard, but if I can.
You got it, Johnny.
Yep. Hard.
Oh, he's been perfect on his hits. Here's a big one.
Go, go, go. Hard.
Sit. Nice shot.
And
Nice
all
shot,
3
John.
yellows
Boy.
stick around for Ontario.
Beauty.
Pat. Do in front of the Haxfield flat to you?
I was thinking either that double or this double, but then he might be able to. It's not great,
Yeah.
hey?
Let's
make
play
that.
this. I think so.
Quarter?
Yeah.
Thin quarter even?
Yeah.
Firm.
Like it. Let's go, buddy.
Right there.
Pure it.
Yeah.
Reed still
Thin
hoping
quarter.
a blank is on the table. You make the double on this one, and then either John Epping hits and rolls out and you can blank, or maybe John Epping hits and sticks and there's a double and a chance for a blank. That's why he's not going hard to draw deep in the house.
Over on sheet D, let's look in. Saskatchewan, a 7-2 advantage over Northern Ontario. And Steve Laycock has 2 in there, so 1 to come from Brad Jacobs. It is the draw for a single. Needs full 4.
Line looks good. You need backing? Play net. Yep, Tanner.
Hopefully Ryan Harden is feeling better soon. He's out of this game with the flu, and you see Tanner Horgan.
That's probably the longest sweep he's had in a couple of years, having played skip for a very long time.
Nice shot from Brad Jacobs, but they're in tough now, down by 4. And Laycock with hammer. Matt Dunstone throwing the 4 stones for that team.
And the double made here by Reed Carruthers and the stick.
Solid, Norm. Solid, Norm.
Clean. Yep. Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Whoa, you're good. You're good. Clean.
Okay, good. Shot. Work huge.
How's that look? Yeah. it'd be
Nose
nice and
hit gives
straight.
you a shot.
There with bump is perfect.
Okay, buddy. Throw it good.
So good job done by Ontario to force Manitoba here in 6.
Bumper rate.
Okay.
Not for sure. Yeah. You could almost give middle rock normal everywhere. And just sweep it.
Yeah, as long as yeah.
Toss your breath.
Well, that's
Bumper hammer.
Reed Carruthers won a world championship in this building with Jeff Stoughton as a front-end player back in 2011.
clean.
Skipping here in 2018, looking for his own Brier success.
Yep.
Final stone in 6.
Clean. Good. Clean.
Bang, away it goes at a single. We have a 4-4 tie between Manitoba and Ontario here at the Brandt Center.
The Brier Tankard is just, it's an amazing trophy. It's our Stanley Cup.
You play all your life to get these opportunities, and they don't come around all the time.
When it finally gets walked out on that ice, it just sends shivers up your spine.
Last year in St. John, seeing Brad over at the patch, you know, bringing the Brier Tankard in, it was just something I'll never, ever forget.
I mean, I was talking to somebody else the other day. I said, the Brier's the Super Bowl. It's everything.
It's not only a huge honor to be on that list because there's so many great curlers that have won the national championship, but to do it twice would be extra special.
As a kid growing up, it was a dream to try and hoist that Brier trophy one day. So I'd like to have that opportunity.
It's definitely a symbol of our sport, and it's a trophy that people recognize without even reading what it's for. They just kind of see it sitting there and they know what it is.
Just, yeah, it's a dream come true to hoist it up and then all of a sudden have that maple leaf on your back. Yeah, I can't even imagine.
I've pictured us multiple times having that thing at the end of this week, and would love nothing more than to hoist that thing over our heads once again.
The first ever Brier handed out way back in 1927 in Toronto, Ontario, as we focus on Sheet A, PEI, New Brunswick, 2 provinces, and the only provinces to never win the Brier and hoist that trophy. And one guy that you heard in that feature, James Grattan, his final stone here against Eddie McKenzie in 7.
Already lying 1, trying to score 2, but does need the button.
A big scrub. Chris Jeffrey urging them on. McCann, Case, the front end.
Very nice. Good enough for 2.
So 2 on the board for New Brunswick. And a 4-4 tie after 7. Welcome back inside the Brandt Center. Home to the Regina Pats in the Western Hockey League, and our home until Championship Sunday. It's a 4-4 tie right now, a single on the board in 6 for Manitoba. Reed Carruthers.
Pretty good. All right. Close. Line only.
So here in 7,
All the way there.
throwing the Yellow Stones, it is Team John Epping with hammer.
Bouncing again.
Derek trying to get to the corner of that shot, Stone. You heard Colin say bouncing. Do not want to.
Perfect throw.
Okay.
Perfect throw.
What'd you get?
We just killed it on you.
Like I thought I threw that
It's a
pretty
perfect
close.
throw. We just hit it hard.
Just don't want to roll here and leave
He was
it
calling
back.
line, wasn't he?
Okay.
Region?
Who's got momentum in this game, Kathy?
I'm not really feeling it on either side, or I should say I'm feeling it equally. I don't think that even though Reed was forced, that he's looking edgy or they're sounding edgy. I think that John is playing very confident, but I don't feel like there's a lot of momentum. I think that this game is still waiting for a pivotal moment that might give one team that edge.
Yeah, that's
Just freeze. What about the freeze?
Or we freeze.
Yeah, I like that.
The freeze is playing this, though. It's not great.
I like
We always
the
have
hit. That's
this if we
pretty
can get on top of
good. I
them
don't mind
good.
the hit.
I think this is probably the call, guys.
Okay, I like that. Yep.
I like just like bumper.
I think you throw a hack here, Derek.
Mike Fournier, Team Quebec, with a
Solid hack.
single in 7, so they lead 8-2 in the 8th end over Nunavut.
That looks good. Pretty straight here. So,
Well, you heard the calls from the hack. They were talking about maybe playing the freeze. The challenge is that if you do play the freeze, there's always going to be that Yellowstone for Ontario that can be run in. And so for Reed, it was more a question of do we throw hack or bumper, but let's get rid of it.
Whoa. Just hack.
Good decision to take that away. And if you can roll inside,
Hard. No roll. No roll. Sit.
just that little, just a little too far.
Hard. Good throw, Derek.
Oh,
nice roll.
Just
Good
if
try.
it's any less.
Yeah.
And the
like
off
it's inch over.
is just because watch it roll. If it stays there, it protects the shot stone, but by rolling over, it's exposed and the angles are set up better for Ontario, and Derek knows it.
Straight there.
Tough sport, isn't it? Always striving for perfection. Game of inches.
Yeah, gone are the day for these guys when they're just happy with making contact with the rock. They left that behind.
Oh no, I'm still living that dream.
I know you are, Derek.
Hard.
Boy.
Drop that.
Bump and roll now. Try and cross it an inch or two.
Sure.
You can bump.
I think so. A good bump.
Bump.
Yeah.
Regular bump will be fine.
Edge of the
Should
yellow.
still be pretty straight. Yeah.
Max ice. Like I'm not gonna be light.
Yeah, it's all weight dependent, really.
Yeah, I know.
I think that's good ice. Regular bump.
Okay.
That's exactly what Derek can see from the hack. So he's got about half of it. And or Braden.
Weight's good.
It is a very long guard.
Matt's curl here.
Well, heavy.
Weight's good.
Yep.
Braden won a Canadian junior title in 2011. Same year Reed won his world title in this building with Jeff Stoughton.
Shooter. Great shot.
Oh, good.
Very nice. Both of those stones moved behind the guard.
Pretty good there.
Great job, bud.
Closer to the line.
It does really curl
Yeah.
there, yeah.
I thought because the draws have been, the draw spot's been played so much, it's a little bit straighter, but inside path is still going to go there.
I agree, yeah.
Oh, what a beauty.
That's a peach.
Not there.
I can probably get it.
You hear Reed having that moment with Colin. He's
to
a
get
school
these moves.
teacher by training,
Kinda weight you
and
need
you will
then, like
often hear
half.
of having
I was
those
thinking half.
discussions, just little coaching moments while he's on the ice, sharing what he's seeing and learning in a very patient way always.
Remember you threw the board.
I thought him and Joanne Courtney worked brilliantly together last year at the mixed doubles worlds, and they were a key part of the reason why Canada
Big
qualified
part, you bet.
for the Olympics in that discipline with John Morris and Caitlin Laws bringing home a gold medal for
Solid
Canada.
hack. Whoa.
Whoa.
Yep.
And good on them. I was at a Jets game just before I came here, and Caitlin was honored by coming home with that gold medal.
Hard. Hard.
Did they let her play, or?
Well, I'll tell you, what I was impressed with is that we're playing Nashville, and all the Nashville guys were elbowing each other and banging on the ice with their sticks because so many players are Canadian.
Absolutely.
And just such a great moment for Canadians when anybody in any sport does well.
Reed also does his Camp Carruthers every year as well in teaching youngsters.
He does, and speaking of teaching, Reed wanted to send a shout out to his sister's school this morning, the Elwick School. Obviously big fans.
Nice sweep. That's a pretty good shot.
Good. Great sweep, Rob. Really good.
Good sweep, guys.
You know, cool story, Kathy. I can't wait for Newfoundland Labrador to take on Brad Gushue. It'll be an all-provincial battle for the very first time. And in talking with Greg Smith, when Gushue won that Olympic gold medal, he was one of the school kids watching when they shut down all the schools so they could watch that gold medal game. And all these years later, he'll get to take on one of his idols in Brad Gushue. So we look forward to that.
It's up to you.
Sure. You think you can make that?
I think I
9
can.
years old at the time, and now in
Like
his
with
first
Theo?
ever Brier, so a thrill.
Or do you need less?
I'm thinking like firm.
Firm?
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, Matt has it all from the hack, but the best way to analyze these is to imagine that red stone that is the longest guard is dragged straight back beside the yellow one. That gives you a better indication of how much space there is actually to go through. When they're staggered, it tends to look like a lot. And so he's playing the side, the out turn, which is the guard is closest to the house, so he's got the maximum amount of room. But even then, it was very, very tight.
Here, I guess. Is it smart to ever tap it? A couple feet?
Can you see enough of this? Probably not. Sure.
It's a relatively new
Where do you
format,
wanna
Kathy,
go?
for Team Saskatchewan, with Matt Dunstone throwing the fourth rock and Steve Laycock the skip and throwing the third stones. And I remember, and we covered Matt in junior, and I remember seeing him at the trials in Ottawa, and his face lit up. He goes, wow, this is the show, isn't it? He was pretty excited to have that opportunity. And you know, that experience certainly helped him for this moment now in his home province. I know he has Manitoba Carruthers, and that's where he's from, but he's representing Saskatchewan, so now he's in his home province. The guys out of Saskatoon here playing in Regina, and he's having a great game this morning against Northern Ontario. His final stone here in 7.
Line's not an issue.
Well, one could argue that this adjustment for Matt was very easy. You either are a last rock thrower or you're not, and Matt always has been.
14-2. I think you're all here.
No egos
Well
on
done,
this
guys.
team for Steve to make that move and for Kirk to move from third to second. And nice to see Matty. He's got that draw weight dialed in. So 8-3, the advantage for Saskatchewan. And that'll, they can hang on. That'll help keep their playoff hopes alive for sure for that championship round.
Yep. Not the worst.
Good weight call.
Pretty good.
It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, good for Reed. I just didn't want
Handshakes for the first time this morning. And it is Mike Fournier, the win over David St. Louis out of Nunavut. Congratulations from the team from just outside of Montreal. Another victory.
95? 85? 95?
Yeah.
85?
Oh, yeah. Disaster. Yeah. You got to.
No, when I was throwing them heavy, what was I throwing?
A little more, Matt.
Speed's pretty close to what you've been seeing, Johnny.
A little more. Yeah.
Well, Manitoba had a lot of discussion before we threw that shot about whether to guard and protect, and then they got talked, well, not talked into, they made the decision to tap the stones around. So they have a couple behind a guard, but what they've done is they've left one for John Epping behind the tee line, a stone that he's now trying to freeze to.
Weight's good.
Whoa!
Yeah, back four.
Where?
Little bump.
Whoa!
Little bump.
Never touch it then.
Judge Patty.
Okay, good.
as close to jamming.
All right, so Kathy, you're bilingual. I want you to translate for me here.
We won. Thank you for showing up. Everybody's got their thing. I don't know what that means, and I don't know if they've been doing it a long time.
Okay.
Doing that.
Good. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
But whatever your thing is, you do it whether you win or lose, and I have watched them, and it doesn't matter. If they lose, they still do the same thing.
We'll have to send a reporter in to check that out, and I guess that's me, so I'll have to get some work done after this.
That's what we're making sure.
Doesn't look like it.
No, that should go out. Even if you dead stuff it.
All right, well, it's on you if it doesn't.
Do you think it does? What weight?
Normal. I think it goes far enough, but I don't really know. I don't really know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So.
I don't think you can jam it with normal.
No.
Okay. Oh, sure, bro.
Clean. Clean. Close. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Reed Carruthers, final stone in 7. Make that yellow go away, avoid the jam, and he gets it to go through.
Okay.
And that's what's facing now John Epping with his final stone. It'll be a play against 4.
Thanks.
So the job done for Manitoba with the force being on.
Yep.
And it'll be the hit and stick here with his final stone.
Now, John's shown in this path a number of times, and as before, he does have a catcher.
Normal, Patty.
In a 4-4 tie.
Norm. Yep.
Throwing against 4. Final stone. John Epping.
Clean.
Needs to hold the shooter. Tim March is on it. On the nose, and a single. So a tight game continues between Manitoba and Ontario. Our feature matchup this morning on TSN. Beautiful day for a walk. We're in the provincial capital, Regina. The 5th time that the Tim Hortons Brier has visited this city. And we get closer to championship weekend, we will crown a new Canadian champion, or maybe the current Canadian champion will say something about that.
It's going to make a lot of noise.
And Brad Gushu, the defending champ, very much in the mix, as are these two teams, as we bring you back to our feature game. Ontario, a 5-4 advantage over Team Manitoba, as John Epping made the hit against 4 for a single. So here in 8 with Hammer, it is Team Manitoba throwing the Red Rocks.
Well, you talked about
Little bit
momentum.
early, guys.
There are only 2 deuces on the board, 1 for each team, and both teams doing a really good job of forcing their opponent to take one in those ends that they have had the hammer. Part of that is the lots of rocks in play style that both John Epping and Reed like to play. There's some really good shot making as well.
You might be able to get shot even. It doesn't really matter, but it's possible.
Colin's talking about maybe getting shot, and then he had the little end line. It doesn't really matter, and it doesn't. What is first and foremost is to be buried.
Show us where I want just above the tee.
That's going to be your score point.
No, I need to curl.
And there's so many rocks to
Line's
come.
good for here, guys.
Line's good for top
Okay,
eight.
gotta go a bit. Okay, right here now.
Whoa, we're losing line.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Died a bit.
Yeah.
It's a good shot.
Just overhook. Nice throw, Colin.
Is that the rock Reed was
zone?
Yeah.
You got the 3 in the middle.
Then you're,
And so John Epping wanting to get rid of that. You know, Brian, they talked this morning, and John Epping did about the stones, and just the reality that today and tomorrow we're going to see a little bit of straightening out as the rocks are getting smoother underneath. And one of the things that I'm working on is a board to develop an International Curling Center of Excellence in Manitoba and Winnipeg. And that's one of the considerations that's been made, is to have ice makers create different conditions on different sheets. So players could come and play on essentially bad ice, so that when you are in a situation where you're faced with bad ice, where you're faced with changing ice, your team can adjust faster, because that is a key, especially at world play when you're often in less than ideal conditions.
I guess either or, but
yeah. I like this side better too.
I think it makes more sense.
What am I throwing? I don't want to come
a little different for your eye coming through here, though.
Yeah, it looks okay.
Close game over on sheet A as well. PEI, New Brunswick, both in must-win situations if they hope to make that championship round. We think New Brunswick lying 2, 1 for sure, obviously, in the 4-foot, that Yellowstone, with 1 to come from the PEI skip from the Charlottetown Curling Complex, Eddie McKenzie.
Hard! Hard! Hurry!
He's playing that hit. He's got some room in the 4-foot, but can't roll much further. Oh.
Catcher.
Catcher indeed.
As they have a look.
Well, that caught stone is the shot for sure.
And we weren't sure who was second shot rock.
Just trying to keep the angle.
So they'll measure as, well, we talked about it. You need breaks at this championship.
Yep.
We'll let you know after that measurement.
Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Yep. Whoa. 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 Oh, wow. Good throw.
A little roll for Pat Jansen.
He was tight, but like it was inside of where we wanted to hit it.
Oh yeah, you make that.
Well, you're not sticking the middle one if you throw weight.
Okay, there's a testament
you don't
to
stick the middle if
how
you throw weight.
straight it is out there.
You just throw it bump?
You throw easy at it.
Sure. Hey. Easy's max. Look at that, boys.
Yeah, that's
angle.
thin.
You like that ice?
Can we throw bump?
Okay, easy, boys.
Just.
Okay.
We're talking about thin
Half
angle,
rough.
trying to come off their own to remove that yellow stone and roll towards the stone that was just hit by Patrick.
Whoa. Yep. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah, well, close.
No.
No, it's not close.
Oh. Come on.
Okay, just can't make a shot today.
Yeah.
Is this still right up here, Matty?
It is, eh?
Yeah.
Well, you heard Derek say, I can't make a shot today. He's at 87%, so one could argue that he's made a lot. But that is the frustration when you have an opportunity to make a shot to lie 2, and it doesn't happen. But that rock ran a lot straighter than they thought.
A little big.
Live look, Saskatchewan, Northern Ontario, and 3 in the house belonging to Steve Laycock and Matt Dunstone, who is the 4th rock thrower on that team. And it's been a frustrating morning for the Olympic gold medalist from 2014 and the Brier champ from 2013, Brad Jacobs, final stone, and drawing against 3.
Felt a little light.
Curling pretty good.
Looking for 4-foot as we saw Matt Cam wreck on the guard on our sheet.
Shot, Brad.
Both Northern Ontario, Manitoba coming in with those 4-0 records when it comes to pool play in Pool B, and that'll do it. So handshakes as the Brad Center responds. A win for the home province. 8-4 your final. As Steve Laycock, Matt Dunstone and company keeping their playoff hopes alive to make it to that championship round of 8. Rick Folk, 1980, the last time that Saskatchewan won a Brier.
Knows that?
I think so.
I like that. What's he play if we do that? He probably just draws
Nice to
around
move
top
that
4.
one. Yeah, he draws around top 4.
He draws around top 4 if we play that. So I wonder if we just leave it half open.
Hack.
Okay.
You like that?
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was bored, eh? Just, yeah, solid hack, almost bored.
Solid hack, yeah. Weight was just a hair up.
So discussion from the hack, feeling that if Matt hits and rolls under and Reed can't see it, that he will go around again to lie 2.
Hack.
And Ontario won't have a stone to run back, so they were thinking about yelling down, maybe we keep it open a little bit.
Hack, hack.
Whoa.
It's real good.
Whoa.
Hack, Johnny.
Yep.
Yep.
Whoa. Whoa.
Beauty, Matt.
Nice shot, Matty.
And there was no discussion, but that actually made everybody happy. Stone that can still be utilized.
Shot, Matty.
And after the measurement, it was 2 for Eddie McKenzie and PEI, so they lead 6-4. Hammer to New Brunswick now in 9 as Eddie McKenzie tries to join that championship club, which begins Thursday. The top 8 moving on, 4 from each pool.
Yep. Yeah. Bring it back, guys. Hard. Bring it back there. Come on. Hard. Come on, buddy. Go. Hard. Go hard. Hard. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Hit it hard. Hit it hard.
Yep.
Hit it hard.
Go, need you.
Go, buddy. Keep
And the
going,
audible.
Keep going, Brap. Okay.
As that yellow is just hanging on in the weeds. Well, we like to do player comparisons, Kathy, every game, and this time we'll look at the thirds.
Well, he had some frustration on that last shot, but the edge this morning to Braden Muscoe. You've talked so much, Brian, about him feeling at home here and enjoying the moment. Huge numbers this morning. Draws have been the challenge for Matthew.
Player comparisons brought to you by New Holland, equipped for a new world.
He's a very good player. I'm sure he's very frustrated with his performance this morning.
And if you're just joining us, in his defense, you look at those numbers, he did have a hog line violation as well, which would have given him a 0.
And you know what, beyond that, Brian, when that happens, it gets in your head, and you're so conscious about that for the next number of throws of not going over, it can impact your release.
Good. Throw, John.
Sorry, guys.
So every win is obviously key, but for Saskatchewan, it's huge. As you look at Pool B, keep in mind, top 4 from each pool advance to that championship round on Thursday. And with that, Saskatchewan improving to 3-2. And as you can see, some separation starting to happen there in Pool B. Quebec at 2-3. Obviously, they still have a shot. No one's mathematically done as of yet in Pool A. Team Canada still perfect. And Manitoba, time will tell if they can remain undefeated in tough here against Ontario. Nunavut, Ontario remaining for Team Saskatchewan as well. So that's what they face going forward before that championship round begins.
Solid hack.
It's interesting, Brian. I took a quick look at the stats this morning. Tanner Horgan coming in to play lead. He's come in a couple of other games when the team has been up and thrown some big weight at the 3rd position. I don't know that he's ever played lead in his life. Shot 94% this morning, so a good utility player. They're 5th.
Yeah, well, a rock is still a rock, right? It's gonna do what it's got to do. You're welcome. It's gonna be in my book.
Gotta go. Oh, yep.
Mornings with Gauthier. That'll be my bestseller, I'm sure, at least
Okay, good try, Reed.
in Alberta, where I'm from.
Shoot. Good throw.
Yeah, time out for a sec here. Yeah.
Time.
Ontario using their first timeout, and Coach Jim Wilson will make his way out.
Yeah.
Risky if we come in this middle anywhere, eh?
We got to get in there. We got to be careful.
If we ever end up there, you might have boom, boom.
What are you thinking?
What if you guard the...
Wonder if we go here.
Yeah, that's pretty good, John.
You can't guard this one.
No.
He makes the double,
Yeah.
gets 3.
I think even if we leave him the triple, he's probably just playing the easy one. So.
Yeah.
Can you go top 4 just on the inside of that?
Which spot do you think's better, guys? This one here or this one?
I think this will run okay. I think it'd be real close.
Wow. Yeah.
Makes it easy though, to just go like that. No really good spot to steal.
No. Well, there is. I mean,
where's the best
well,
spot
that.
there?
That's...
If I was drawing, the upturn, so leave him the in, I think.
Like that's probably perfect.
Ideal.
Okay. I like that.
Isn't it not?
Yeah, you're right.
Make that.
And if I'm here, that's not terrible.
That's max he can hit right there.
So what if I'm just here then?
Yeah.
But I got to be over those two.
As long as we outcount those two, we should be
If line's good, John, you want to bring it here?
There, I think.
This is good.
There.
Not the easiest to get there with that guard. But
This is probably,
it
yeah.
should be fine.
I like this spot. Yeah.
It's been a different
Right there,
end.
Doug.
3 stones ticking and not having the result. So they talked about playing a guard very notionally, but if you play a guard on one side and the double is made, there's a chance for 3 for Reed Carruthers. So they've talked about positioning of the stone.
Line too.
Yeah. Full 8, bud.
Anywhere in here is good. If he's here, he's good. What you want to do is take away the ability for Reed Carruthers to hit and roll off of that.
Yep, up 8.
Yep. Hard, Pat.
So after a timeout, sorry, Kathy, John Epping with his final stone in 8.
Trying to make sure that he is third shot.
Come on. Hard! Really gotta go, Pat. Go, Pat, go. Come on, we gotta go. Go, Patty, go. Keep going. Keep going. Just move it a bit. Move it a bit. Keep going. Move it a bit. Go. Whoa. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, that's a trick.
That go hard, move it a bit was to make sure they took away the double on those yellows.
Gives us his normal color perfectly.
No, not there. Need half a rock.
Come on.
Can you make it? Hard! Really gotta go.
Great brushing. They've changed plans. They know now it's definitely light. Need to make contact hard enough to make that red one. Moving up.
You get 2/3. You can hit what?
Not an easy day so far.
If you paper, you might be close to half.
Reed, put your broom down.
2/3 isn't enough to push it
I was
far
going to say, Kathy, I'm not right behind it. Is the double still there?
Oh, you're right.
It's
right here.
Close.
An absolute paper job, and I still don't think that's enough.
There you go.
I think you need an inch more.
You have
I
to
think
throw like a 4-second
it was
bomb, I
there
think.
before he touched that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Scoring here's good.
What's our easiest shot for one then, guys?
Nose it or draw, I guess.
Nose, am I good? Yeah, should
Nose
be.
you're good.
You are?
Anything
Nose, I'm
inside
good.
you're okay. Yeah.
Nose, I'm for sure good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well,
I don't think it's there.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's not.
It is if you can throw like
Yeah, I agree.
4 seconds.
Fair one.
Yeah, I think if you had to
Nicodine
make
can
it,
make it.
If he didn't touch that red, it might
That's
have
Dan
gone.
Carey, their
He didn't
coach,
touch that.
after Manitoba's timeout.
Okay. So your weight you're thinking.
Sometimes you can try so hard for the 2 or the 3. And at that point, if you tick on the red stone that's on top, you actually give up 2, and that's fatal. And if you take a look at it, if you remove that red stone out of play and think about where you need to make that double, then you look where that red stone is. I don't know that it's there. Even if you're playing the other turn, it's not worth the risk, in my opinion, and clearly it's not in theirs. That's a better angle to see it at. And so you take your sure one, or your easier one, I should say.
You know, both these skips, Kathy, I've been impressed with their patience in this game. You know, not getting frustrated when they don't have that big score.
It's good.
And that was one of the things that Reed talked about in his post-game interview yesterday that we talked about in the keys, was you're going to ride the emotions in this curling game up and down like crazy. Some good moments, some letting them go, and you just have to stay with it.
Shot, Reed.
Little hit, little roll, and that finds the Tim Hortons button.
Sweet, buddy.
So a single on the board for Team Manitoba. Reed Carruthers hit a good one with John Epping and Team Ontario. Welcome back to our coverage in Regina. Braden Muscoi, pretty excited to be back in his hometown of Regina. And he's facing Matt Cam out of Ontario, and they have some history. And for it, flashback time, 2011 in Calgary, Alberta. And there he's wearing those Saskatchewan colors, taking on Matt Cam, skipping Team Ontario that year. And it was a fantastic game. Came down to the wire. 11th end, the hit, the stick, wasn't enough for one. A young Scott Howard looking things over after a measure. The celebration. And there's Kirk Myers, who you know is representing Saskatchewan this year as well, and a big win for Braden and company. Matt Lang, Colton Flash, and Kirk Myers, your champions. That was in Calgary in 2011. So Matt Cam likely has that somewhere back in the memory banks.
Oh, for sure. You don't forget those.
And we just saw Kirk Myers with a win this morning over Northern Ontario, right next door. So these young men, they dream of playing in the Brier one day, and a lot of those dreams begin in junior play. And that chance to represent Canada, it's a pretty cool feeling, as we always like to go down memory lane and see that video. He had some good hockey flow back then as well. And truth be told, with Braden, he actually told us that he used to think back in the day curling was pretty boring. He used to watch it on TV. Went to a Brier in Calgary in 2002. Randy Furby won it that year.
Yeah,
he literally loved the buzz and the excitement in the building, came home, wanted to quit hockey right away and take up curling. And that young man's been living his dream ever since.
A little bit early. Whoa.
Now the trend of forcing your opponent to one continues.
On its own.
And for Reed, Carruthers would love to make that happen here and force John Epping to give up that last rock advantage in 9. To have it in 10 coming home, down 1. Or to steal.
I guess we make a pocket, eh?
Yeah. This one you want to bounce.
Free tap, yep.
Yeah.
Don't really need
Change
to
you've
tap
been giving
to play
us.
the freeze.
Back 4.
Like it.
8!
That's what we want.
Clean.
Whoa, Braden.
You clean it?
Weight's okay.
Whoa,
wide.
Perfect weight. Back 4.
Back 4 on its own.
Whoa.
Let's get to nose.
Angle.
Go, Colin. Go. Yep. Hard.
Get to nose. Pretty good.
Okay, good shot.
That's good.
Just jabbing him.
What are you aiming for, like nose or low?
Yeah, nose. Back 12.
Okay, Patty, back 12 here.
Just back
Speed's
12.
still nice here, right?
Try to unlock, even though they're not frozen.
Kind of what we've seen.
There's not a lot of space between that red and yellow, and that's why the back 12 moves some stones around. That red one's still going to be there. But then Ontario will be on top of it, and there will be some space between the red Manitoba stone and the other Ontario stone.
Whoa.
Just through.
Yes.
Update PEI New Brunswick, James Gratton, who beat Terry Odishaw in the New Brunswick final back at the Brier for the first time since 2014. Now, Kathy, with that angle, can he get across maybe and make the double, so yellow-red, and maybe the double for 3? Is that a possibility here?
He could. I don't know if that's what he's called. For sure, he needs to roll in order to count 2 as a start, but he can use that red as a catcher and roll out, but needs a thicker piece.
Bang it, roll over, catch the red. You bet he can. Jimmy the Kid still got it, doesn't he? Nice shot.
What a great time to take 3 in the 9th to give yourself an edge coming home.
2 third-place finishes at the Brier for James Gratton. Remember, 97, he skipped New Brunswick, lost a semifinal to Vic Peters. 2002 with Russ Howard, lost to John Morris as well in a semifinal, so great to see him back on the national stage.
Good shot. Very good, buddy.
Good shot.
It's looking like it.
Okay. It's okay if you kill this. Same line we just had.
Same weight kind of thing?
Yeah.
Or a touch less?
Well, no, not less.
Same?
Not less.
Not worth blasting something here?
Same weight. Doesn't do anything.
Well, the blast is not an awful call either. Move a lot of granite around. Right about now, those stones are getting so clustered in that 4-foot area.
Hard. Hair less.
Yep.
Hard.
Hard.
Come on.
Hard.
Lean on it. Lean on it.
Whoa.
Call mine, it was hair more.
Now just soft out of Patrick's hand, got that going.
I can't leave him this double over here. Okay.
I like that, yeah.
Okay.
Good guard, too.
Yeah, it's either that or guard this one. Guard the double.
Well, if he plays the double, it jams. If you're guarding that. But
I don't think so.
I think we go here.
Okay.
I think that puts some great pressure on Ontario if you come right down on top.
Yeah.
Now, is that ice, Kathy, consistent from day one for curl?
It's less.
It is less. By how much do you figure?
They were taking outside of the 12-foot early on.
Wait on it.
It still has lots of movement, though, lots of finish. Just not quite as much as it was on day one, which is pretty typical.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Good. It's pretty good.
Shot. So the grounded piling up here for Team Manitoba, Ontario, in a 5-5 tie with hammer here in 9.
It's a millimeter on this side, but nose is okay. Peel.
Got it, Matty. Right on the nose, pretty much.
Hey, Matty. You got this, buddy.
So, Peel, with that broom, do you just pick the turn you want, Kathy? Like, how does that work?
You don't. You still have to do what the skip wants. But in theory, you're correct. When you're throwing such high weight, it's going to run pretty straight no matter which turn you throw.
Good.
Good, Matty.
Yeah, boy.
Better than it was.
Same weight, just chisel it off and roll inside.
Go,
Same weight, just chisel it off and roll inside of it.
That looks a million times better.
Just unhinge a touch?
Yeah, just a bit.
Stay frozen to the inside. Pretty much nose.
Even nose it with back 4.
What if you just freeze here?
That's pretty good, yep.
Okay.
I agree. I don't think you have to
that
move
makes this
zone.
easier.
Okay, we gotta go.
We got to pick
Yeah. Just
where am I doing? Freeze?
Straight freeze.
Is that a bit less?
I gave you there. I'm going to give you here.
Okay.
Well, there's some time left. You heard them say we got to go. Manitoba, the Redstones. They always want to have 4 minutes going into the last end. And we're still on third stones. There is a timeout. And compared to yesterday,
That's a lifetime.
that's a lifetime. But this end is not over yet.
What did Mike McHugh and Team Wildcard had 7 seconds when he sat in the hack?
That goes. Oh, boy.
It's okay.
Everything's
Close, Matty.
So Mike did not go down even for his last throw.
What is
throw
that?
the hit. Make this double. That's
Made the hit, though, for the win.
He absolutely
Make
did.
triple here if you can. Throw the out.
I like the in. Or I can throw the out, whatever you know.
It's harder to make with the
The out's going to run dead straight.
Okay, out. What do I need to hit?
About a half. Half's good.
Okay, buddy, you got this.
Yep. Hard. 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 Go, go, go. All the way, all the way, all the way.
Hard on that, Eugene.
Matt Cam, Reds are moving.
Nice shot, Matty.
That's a pretty good shot. Almost a massive shot, but still got a great result.
Great shot, bud.
Think back 2 stones, how many red rocks there were in play, and Ontario in huge trouble. 2 great shots by Matt Cam.
Get here then, Reed. So you're out counting both of these.
Oh boy.
Shot.
It's got to draw.
No other choice, really. We don't have time here either.
Tap.
3:30.
Tap and roll.
What's wrong with this?
It's not bad.
We don't have a ton of time.
Got to hope for something, I
Yeah.
guess. Okay.
So, bye. We can right here, guys. Just so if that comes off, it's just right into it.
Freeze it.
Freeze in the back one?
Yeah. It's back 4 is the weight.
Okay.
And this is where time management throughout the game really comes into effect. You heard a number of shouts down the ice. We don't have enough time. And here you are in the 9th end in a tied-up game where momentum, finally, Brian, we've talked about that, is really switched to Ontario, who do have last rock. And there isn't time to really look through things and consider options because of the time situation you find yourself in.
Yep.
Yeah, line.
Good.
Got to. Come on.
Gotta go line. It's like, T-line.
Yep. 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 Hard. Hard. Still got it. Hard. Hard.
And a tick on the guard as it spills in.
Okay. Try, Reed.
So now if you can maneuver that red stone and avoid the jam for 4.
Did.
Or not yet. Sorry, I'm getting way ahead of myself here. A few rocks to go.
Whatever weight you feel comfortable hitting it, right? I don't even mind if you throw peel, and even if you hit it a hair high and you roll like to here.
And Ontario calls their second timeout. So one more time, Jim Wilson.
But we're shot.
Yeah, we're shot. You beak it, what does he do?
Beak the red on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
Is that what you said? Beak the
What if
red
he
on
just
the
knows
outside?
this?
Just knows it.
He
Even if
runs
just throw peel
this?
at it.
No.
Well, the only crappy thing about throwing peel is if I hit it a millimeter high,
Yeah.
right? I roll out. This sticks.
Well, you
he's
can
gonna
throw
have the
normal
he's gonna
too
have
here.
the triple.
Yeah.
I think if I'm throwing it with like hack.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
But
if you
it's
ever get
but
there,
it's
it's
hard.
yeah.
If I tick the yellow, you're really mad.
If we get there, he's probably just trying to freeze here, right? Oh, but then we just go
gotta
boom,
play
boom, boom.
something.
We have
It's tough
What do
freeze
you
that
think?
if you make it.
Play this with hack.
Whatever weight you see, John. Like this one, I'm not worried about.
How
even
much
if
have you
take
got of it?
It's either that or just
The
freeze
whole
it.
thing plus a little bit.
Yeah.
We know you're normal down here.
Freeze would be sitting
Yeah,
here
I'd
and
rather
you wouldn't
throw
really-
hack, I think.
Okay.
Because even if I roll over here and jam it, right?
Jeez.
It's pretty good.
What about even back line then?
Don't you think? I think hack. Hack looks normal.
Hack, we're trying to nose this, right?
Yeah, 4 millimeter low.
Right there, John?
Yeah.
Okay, bud. Hack. Still right up here.
All right, Kathy, so now I figured out how many stones are left here in the ninth end. We can move on after the timeout.
And you know what? For John Epping, there's no question that they wanted to go after this red stone. The discussion was really more about weight.
solid hack.
It would be great to throw quiet weight, but he can't afford to tick it. Wants to stick around. Trying to avoid the jam as well.
So wants to feather that yellow stone there. He does. Tap it back. Lovely shot, John Epping.
That is very, very good.
Great reaction. He's almost shy about making that shot. That was great.
He had to play so close to that top one. Grazes the back one. And they're all Christmas treed for Reed Carruthers. That's about as much enthusiasm as you'll see.
Up the corner.
And Manitoba, their final timeout as Dan Carey makes his way down.
He's just still nosing it.
Yeah. He could tick his own. If he ticks his own, he only gets one, or we maybe even steal.
It's either the intern tap, so I try to put it to here and we hope he misses, or I freeze perfect. And then
I just don't see a good place for this tap to go.
He plays this for 3.
That he doesn't have an easy one off his 2.
But he's like, if I'm here, he still has an easy shot for 3. It's like T-line weight, no risk.
You don't think we can make this?
No.
To try?
There's nothing on the red. Nothing on the red. It's either
wide open
that red.
Look where you got to hit that.
It's going this
Going
way.
right
Right
here.
here.
On
this and plant it, and this goes here. This one goes here. Then
Two's always
if that's
staying, right?
under here, he has to hit that for 3, doesn't he?
Or he draws for 3 somewhere.
Draws for 2, doesn't
I
he?
see the 5 and the 2 staying off that shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
And lucky, very lucky if we plant.
I think it's either this guy's or that.
Well,
Or the
this one,
tap.
if we tap it to here, we got a chance at him racking on something.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to slash.
Yeah, he's playing the
He's
2.
got a shot. He's got lots of shots.
Yeah. Don't see much. We're in trouble.
Well,
Not a lot of good.
I mean, you got to pick the one you like, but I think that freeze.
Can you just wide out turn draw anything? Is that as easy as the tap?
Well, this is the straight side, though.
Tap it.
Yeah.
Well, no more timeouts for Manitoba, and their clock is ticking.
Cross it so it
One
takes this
freeze.
turn.
Yeah.
One freeze.
7/8 on the inside.
Bury it right here.
Yeah.
Had a good end.
Easy.
Tough. Strong.
That's what they've decided is their best odds of minimizing the damage. That freeze on the shot stone is so, so hard, because from the hack you can see half of one, half of one, half of one as that yellow Christmas tree goes upwards. And even if you make it perfect, there's lots of ways for John Epping to get that out. Huge shot for Manitoba to try to stay in this game. And they will then have to fight back with 1:38
Little heavy.
left.
Yep. Whoa. We're hack. Hack. Yep. We're hack. Yep. 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 Still hack.
I know. I got to hit it in the right spot at least and give it a chance.
It's just hack.
Okay.
Try.
And that is a tough one for Manitoba and Reid Carruthers. And with that, John Epping does not even have to throw his final stone. John Epping said, man, that team, they've had my number for a while. A little wink to the crowd as John Epping finally gets one back. A big win on the big stage. Ontario, 10-5 over Manitoba. Much more to come when we return to Regina.
The 2018 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by Tim Hortons, official coffee of curling Canada. The 2018 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by New Holland, equipped for a new world. By Purex Bathroom Tissue, find comfort in Purex. And by World Financial Group, helping Canadians have better financial futures.
As we look across the sheets at the Brandt Center, just one game remains, and it's a close one between Prince Edward Island and Team New Brunswick.
The only thing I'm worried about is
as James Grattan has called a timeout. 7-6, New Brunswick leads.
Yeah, well, I should miss it.
It is PEI with the hammer coming home, down by one, and we'll listen in.
We just got to.
He doesn't have anything for two on this. He has an easy one.
So,
but am I worried about the drag here on picking this out?
You're talking if he hits it here?
The only way to drag it into the yellow, I think, is to hammer the red in.
Yeah, I think so.
I think if he noses the yellows, I think we're safe.
Yeah. So are we blocking his shot for one then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might. That's there though.
Yeah, it's a corner.
I think your intern's going to go sideways.
Yeah.
If I throw a two, it's guarding the draw.
All you do is put it up.
Yeah.
I like it.
Eddie McKenzie's first stone is that red one at the top of the Tim Hortons. He tapped the New Brunswick stone back, but it still is shot stone. And so you've heard the discussion. It's now how do you block Eddie McKenzie from tapping that up for the single and the tie?
Maybe the intern is the better shot.
It's got just over a minute here, so just pick your favorite.
I think middle.
Middle 12?
Why not the pick, Kathy, the straight pick? Does that make no sense?
Well, the problem with the pick
like
is
only because
it's risky.
And he can play it with weight for one. You know,
and you also make it a lot easier for PEI to come in and tie. James Grattan is playing for the win here, Brian. You pick that stone out, Eddie McKenzie comes down and sits on top of that. You go the extra, and James Grattan is not prepared to go the extra. He's shot stone, playing for the win by guarding it.
He made a beautiful shot in 9 with his last. It was a double
Line looks good.
to score 3.
Line's good.
Line's real good.
And
Line's
both these
good for
teams
two.
basically in
Gotta
a
bend.
must-win situation to keep
Gotta
their
go.
championship pool hopes alive.
Go.
That begins on Thursday.
Yes. Yes. Hot, Pete. Hot.
Andy McCann, Peter Case, the front end, big scrub to try block the path for Eddie McKenzie.
That's pretty good. There's a hole there with the out.
As Matt Cam, Team Ontario, looking on after their win. That was our feature game, and we'll bring you to the game story.
Well, in 5, that deuce was huge for John Epping, makes that tap, and that puts him back with a little bit of an edge, but it was the 9th end that started very strong for Manitoba, and some really good shots, 2 by Matt Cam, went on to that 5 and handshakes.
And the game story is brought to you by Tim Hortons, the official coffee of Curling Canada. As PEIs use their timeout as well.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, I moved it a little. It's not going to be in play.
I don't think
anyway.
we're not playing anything anyway. I'm just trying to distract you.
And he bumped that rock, so they just kind of knock it back into position.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think this way we definitely get the drag.
Yeah.
I think you have to throw.
On the red, you mean?
Yeah, I think if you hit the red anywhere onto this one, it's at least kissing this, the 6, if it doesn't hit the red.
How much of that can you see?
Like a quarter? Just a
You
quarter.
you see like exactly.
You can see
what
a quarter,
you need to
so
hit,
you
but
can,
it's tight.
Okay.
It's hard to get enough momentum.
I don't know if that's going to go.
What?
It just has to touch it.
To do what?
How much time do we have?
Yeah, you could just go for one. Are you going for 2 or 1?
No, let's just play for.
One's probably just as hard, isn't it?
Probably.
Just play for 2, but.
May as well play it for the win, right? Because I think the 6 is at least going to kiss the 4. Only needs to move an inch, right?
How much time do we have after the time?
About 3 minutes.
Okay. This one's out, basically, is it?
I don't think so because all the momentum's going up.
That's what I mean. We're not playing that for sure.
You're either skinning that or running that. I don't think we need to throw this that hard. Do you want to take?
Well, you got to throw it pretty hard because you want to get this out and get 2, right?
Yeah, I mean just like.
Not hard, but yeah. And hit it. Where do you want to hit it though?
I'm going to hit it about there. Right about there.
I think you just want it done at the yellow.
From that, maybe. Well, I still think you have to hit it touching this side.
Yeah, I mean you're coming in from that side. This is the same thing as hitting third of the rock. Like this, just
I don't know.
may as well take
Like
a look, see.
3/4 maybe.
Could you raise the yellow on the Tim Hortons Cup, Kathy? I mean, it's just another option.
Here?
Yellow onto red.
At least you get your 1. I don't know if that's easy either. The way they talk, they'd rather go for the win here, obviously.
Well, and that's what they're playing for. Now, interesting to note, we've shown some highlights of some great shot making. Both skips in this game at 95%. And Eddie McKenzie last night was a highlight reel. We'd love to add to that right here. Not an easy shot.
Yeah.
So they talk about that little bit of that drag effect, Kathy. So is it there for 2?
It's tough. I'm not sure that it is.
Yep.
So at the very least, down by 1, trying to force an extra. Final stone in 10. Eddie McKenzie, push it back, clip it. And not to be. A well-played game by both skips. 9-6 your final as New Brunswick squeaks one out. James Grattan back at the Brier for the first time since 2014. A 6-5 record in Calgary, and he's trying to battle into that championship round of 8 teams. And as we look at Pool B, there you see New Brunswick now 2-3. They have to keep Saskatchewan in their sights at 3-2. And in Pool A, 1 team still undefeated, and that is Team Canada and Brad Gushue. Segue for this afternoon's coverage, we will focus on Brad Gushue out of St. John's taking on Jamie Murphy, who started out pretty good with 2 straight wins. He's dropped down to 2-2. You can watch at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, TSN 1, 3, and 4, when Vic Rauter, Cheryl Bernard, Russ Howard join myself and Kathy Gauthier. It has been a pleasure so far, an exciting week here in Regina. The 5th time this city has hosted the Tim Hortons Brier. We'll see you later on today, 3 p.m. Eastern Time on Canada's Sports Leader, TSN.